Hello.
How are you?
I'm exhausted. How are you?
Same.
I had to be like an adult for the whole neighborhood's kids. It was fun.
Ah,
That and I had to play electrician, window treatment guy, and plumber this weekend.
and window treatment. You have to treat windows?
Yeah, my wife was like, you know what? I've been really bothered by these blinds for the last 5 years. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go head out to Lowe's. I'll be back. So I got new blinds for the front of the house. I was busy and my shoulders are on fire.
I bet. At least the light fixtures look nice.
Well, thank you. She sent me out and got one more for the hallway between the office and my son's room. So now the whole living room, kitchen, dining room, hallway are all the same lights. Being a homeowner sucks sometimes.
That's why I'm glad that I live in an apartment. However, not really, because I don't even fix shit.
Yeah, I was in an apartment with my wife before my son was born, and it was the dead of winter, which is much colder here, and our heater, the condensate from our heater froze from the outside all the way up to the unit, and so it was leaking in the apartment, and we had to go to a mall like 45 minutes away just to get warm because there was no heat in our complex.
So that happened to our unit, except because of monsoons. When we had the AC on during the summer, it froze because of how cold we had it in the apartment, because of how hot it was outside.
Okay. Oh, so the temperature difference between the outside and the inside caused the pipes to freeze. Wow.
Yeah, it caused the I don't know the technical term for it, but our AC unit, when it turned off, was literally pouring buckets of water out of it into our hallway.
Yeah, so that's the condensate. That's so you know if you get a Coke or something on a hot day, it sweats on the outside. So your unit has copper pipes that run up and down in a grid that the air blows past. If that gets the temper differential between the what the air is and what it's trying to cool the pipes down to will cause those pipes to sweat, and they have to take that water that sweats off the pipes and send it out. That's your condensate, so that's what froze on you.
Oh, okay. It was a pain because that happened 3 times last summer.
Oh my god! Did you guys have a heat wave this summer?
No, we just had a really good monsoon season.
Okay.
So it made everything all humid and gross.
Gotcha.
It was still really hot though, but yeah, we've lived in this unit for almost 3 years now. Our dryer has never worked properly ever.
You have a dryer in your unit? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we have a little laundry closet.
That's awesome.
It just doesn't work. I mean, it does work, but it takes like 4 cycles to dry 1 load of laundry.
There's no heater in it.
No clue. We were told that we were, supposed to get fixed, and we've, no joke, had maintenance in like 15 times the entire time we've lived here, and each time it has never been fixed. So we're like, well, you know what? Whatever. We don't care anymore.
My guess is that your vent is full of dryer lint, and it just hasn't been cleaned out.
See, I would agree with you, except every time they come out, they clean it, and it still doesn't work.
Do they actually clean it, or do they say
Yeah,
they cleaned it?
they pull so much out of there because of my dog. He's a husky. He sheds a lot.
Oh, I had a husky. Yeah, they're the worst.
Hmm. I can't even walk out of my house wearing anything black without
No dark
her
colors.
getting on it. No dark colors. I have to avoid him like the plague when I leave for work. So excited. I don't know what we're gonna do today, but like any of our options sound exciting.
It does. It sounds very fun, no matter what happens.
I'm super interested in a possible 2v2 because while I am confident in Argamar and Thule, Kevin can kick our asses.
Well, I mean, you've got 5th level smites, right?
Yes. I just have to get to her.
Eh, I don't think she's very good with her will save or charisma save, is she?
I have no idea.
I know whole person. You just gotta get to her.
I guess the better way to phrase it is you have to be able to see her. Because if she decides
That
to
could be a
hide,
problem.
there's no way.
It depends on if we have prep beforehand or
True.
if we're running with the spells that we have, because I might have True Sight that I can give to you. I think the tricky thing would actually be Callum, because he's if he's got a counter spell or whatever, that'd be a problem.
Oh yeah.
True Seeing is a 6th level spell. Jesus. I was thinking I could just do animate objects and cast it at a 7th level and put 14 very angry coins around someone, doing a lot of damage per hit when they hit.
That would be very funny.
Because it's I was trying to calc it out. I was like, okay, if I could surround Zara with coins, I think I get 4 additional tiny objects. So I think a tiny counts as 1. Yeah. So I'd have 14 coins that surround Zara, and they all do a minimum of 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So if they all hit, I mean, we're talking like 60 points of damage just from them.
Which is a good chunk of her health.
2/3 of her health. She only has 90. And that's a bonus action after the first casting, so could probably take her down. Otherwise, I don't have much use of my higher level spells besides, like, just putting regeneration on and then taking the defensive action and spiritual guardians or something. So I just regenerate health that I lose, and I just sit in there, sit in the center and just blender people. I do have access to a very dangerous spell called Harm, though.
Oh.
Hey, Rachel. Hey, Ryan.
Hello, everybody.
Summer and I are discussing couple battle tactics.
Special moves.
Basically, Agrimar doesn't have a whole lot to actually provide to combat, but I'm really good at support.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Right?
So I'm on.
These are amazing.
Are you just now catching the meme towns?
The 4 p.m. ones.
Those are pretty good.
We don't talk about Bruno.
You know, up to this point, Zara might have some competition because I think Thule has set more fires than Zara.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I mean, Zara used to be part of the Thieves Guild that was known for setting fires.
When was the last time that Zara willingly set something on fire?
I mean, I gave her a flamethrower and she never used it. She
We
sold it to the
we
Thieves
sold it
Guild.
to the Thieves Guild.
That's an interesting question, actually.
I'm just saying, it's been a long time since Zara has actually set something on fire. On purpose.
She's just a poser arsonist.
She is a poser.
See, Rachel, that's why I said to post the angst one.
Oh, fine, I'll post the angst one too.
If you're gonna put Truly on blast, you have to put Zara on blast.
All the memes.
I didn't like that one. I felt like it was.
But she's a rogue. Angst is part of her forte.
I know.
Oh, Zara is the angsty of inks.
I'm very sorry for that. I thought to myself, I'm not going to play angst, and then it just there it is.
It's really hard. I find when I'm playing a rogue, it's hard not to be an angsty person.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, how can you not be a rogue and not be filled with angst? Like, what makes you decide to go with a group of adventurers? Actually, what makes anyone go on this horrifying journey?
You know what? That reminds me of the end of winter. You remember my Tabaxi rogue?
Yes.
In Nick's one shot? He was a horn dog. That's what he was. He wasn't angsty at all.
No, surprise! I'm pretty sure my bard was the angsty one. In
It
that.
was, yeah. I got with that priest lady. I was like,
That.
leave your lover and come get someone that really loves you.
I remember that. That was the first time Summer played with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was rewatching some of the past VODs, and we were so full of hope. It was so nice. Summer, you were just starting out with us, and
It was before the Empire, before the dark times.
Mm-hmm.
Before the Fire Nation attacked.
Before the Fire Nation.
I do have to say, the more that I post memes, that's because I have a ton of shit to do, and I've just been procrastinating. But you know they're golden.
That's
I tell you
the
what.
best time for memes.
I've been absolutely loving them in between me not getting electrocuted and not flooding my house, so I appreciate it.
That's nice.
I was telling Summer that my wife hinted that she wanted the blinds redone on the house, so I had to go put some blinds up today.
Oh, how'd that go?
I got half of the blinds right, and I had to go back to the store and get the other half right.
Oh.
So it went pretty well. I read the correct measurements for the big window, and then I went into my bedroom, and I was like, okay. I looked at it, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's the same as the other ones. And I didn't think about cutting half an inch off to make the inside measurements work. And so,
Oh no.
so I tried to put it in, and I was like, it's like a quarter of an inch too long. Oh, well, I have to go back to the store and go put these in. So I had to go to the store and get them cut and all that fun stuff. And while I was at the store, she made me get another light for the hallway, so I had to put that up too.
All the lights.
All the lights.
Next will be the light switches.
Yeah, dimmers everywhere in the house. So if I ever move to Arizona, I might start a handyman business. Actually, that'd be a terrible idea. Getting in people's attics with like 120 degrees, that doesn't sound fun.
No.
Best part about it, though, is that I got some new tools, and that's what I'm, like, happy about. I was like, I got a wire stripper that's, like, really cool, and a new set of pliers. I was like, yeah, that's what I needed.
Always fun to get new tools.
I got a 6-inch extension for my my number 2 Phillips drivers that is like, it's got a locking mechanism, and then so you pull it back the sleeve and you put in the magnet or the bit and it clicks into place. I'm like, hoo 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 hoo. I can get things a real long way.
He's unstoppable.
It's the simple things in life. Like, I put a soap dispenser in my sink. Like, that was cool.
Oh, dang.
Hello.
Hey, Ben.
Silence.
Well, okay then.
What'd you do, Zara? What'd you do to Callum?
God, who knows?
Oh, you left the gag in from last night.
Let's try this again.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Got Rachel. Yes.
Gag removed successfully.
Yeah, I was asking why Lucas was being creepy Lucas, and no one answered. I was like, okay then.
There's never an explanation.
I was being something other than my normal? What?
I'm just gonna say that's a creepy Simpsons thing.
Which sentence?
No, the Simpsons thing.
Oh, the Simpsons. Yes.
Oh.
That's creepy.
I think Marge tried to kill Homer in that episode. If I'm remembering it correctly.
I think you're right.
Man, I haven't watched Simpsons in like 15 years.
It's still going.
It's still going. I know. It's on Disney of all things.
Mm-hmm. I think I stopped watching it for a couple of seasons, and then I went back to it, and it just, it was sad. Just the whole overall tone and the writing and the vibe.
I think I stopped watching just after they got rid of Apu.
Oh yeah, they really just got rid of him, right? Like,
Well, I don't think they killed him off, but I think they just never went back to Quickie Mart.
This is pretty much it for tonight, isn't it?
I think so.
Not unless Nari wants to show up last minute.
We know she wants to show up.
is there a
Damn
chance?
kids. Not unless she phones in miraculously.
Oh damn.
I mean, she only gets off halfway through, right? Nari shows up in the sewers. Hey, what are you doing there?
Hey, you!
So what are we doing?
I'm just killing some dwarves to get some souls.
Hell yeah.
Well, from the sounds of things, we're doing a flashback hijinks double date episode.
I say we just roll with it and just see what happens.
More or less a filler episode, so feel free to just have fun with it. As the camera fades away from the current setting in the midst of the ongoing heart-pumping action down in the sewers, as the sounds of some monsters quickly closing in on Agrimar, as the camera cuts to black, as the darkness and dankness of the sewers fades away, with a bright white flash of light, the the camera slowly fades in on the city streets of MistHaven on what appears to be just an ordinary day, with the 4 members of the party walking up the street, heading this way or that about their usual business on what they would oft look back to as being a rather remarkable afternoon. With the 4 of them walking down the streets, there are all manner of city callers crying out their wares, market peddlers trying their best to cram their wares into your hands. You're having to push your way through these crowds. The hustle and bustle is ever present about this city as it's ever been. On just your casual off day, what sort of errands might you guys be taking to task as a group?
I think that Callum would, he's still got the simulacrum, so that's running the shop. So he's probably either out like making a delivery or just, kind of generally checking around the city to see if anybody's got any good deals going, any news of, potential items of interest.
All right, Callum, go ahead and roll me a perception check. As you guys are strolling and your eyes start perusing some of the market stalls.
That's an 18 plus a something.
Ooh.
Plus a 0, so an 18.
So with an 18, you start looking around at some of the wares. You make out the, more often than not, kind of a snake oil salesman of clearly just red food dyed vials of water being sold as watered down healing potions for about 20 gold a bottle here, and the fake jewelry being peddled as something of a much higher caliber over there, and just kind of the overall substandard quality of some of these goods as you guys are making your way through some of the noble districts. And as you guys are passing by one of the nearby parks, figure that is leaning up against the base of a tree, slumped over with her deep purple robes just kind of furled up around her, with the wide brimmed pointed hat tipped downwards like a large sombrero, providing enough shade for their afternoon nap. This woman with this bright greenish yellow hair is just snoozing, lying partially in the road, just in the middle of the day. And Callum, there, just ever so slightly floating beside her, looks to be a 4-foot-long broom, hovering just slightly off of the ground.
Zara, do you see that?
What? I'm sorry. What? Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Why? Who is she?
I don't think I've ever seen her around town. But she has a flying broom. That's quite the item. I wonder if she'd be willing to part with it. What do you think?
Well, I mean, she is sleeping, so she can part with it.
Well, I wouldn't recommend stealing it from her.
Why not? I mean, come on. She's clearly sleeping. She obviously doesn't care about it enough. The 4 of us are all together, right? Hello?
So, I
It's up to
don't...
you guys, but I assume the 4 of you are walking up this street together.
You already have the ability to fly. I don't think taking this woman's things are adequate for the situation. I mean, it's quite valuable, and if it's a family heirloom, or literally the only thing she owns, it would put her very far out.
Oh, come on. She's wearing a purple robe. Obviously, she's got enough gold to spare. Truly, can you please back me up?
Actually, from this distance, because you said that she was slumped over. From this distance,
Yes.
would we be able to tell if she is asleep or just simply passed the fuck out?
We're dead.
Roll me a medicine check.
I can do that. Maybe. 7.
She
This
seems shorter than you, about halfling sized, if not a large child, but you can make out the faint rising and falling of the chest of the slumbered breathing. She just seems to be asleep.
Holy fuck, is she trying to start up a bakery service? A delivery service? Sorry.
It's spirited away.
No cats
It's
nearby.
a delivery service.
Kiki's delivery service.
I have never watched the video, and I'm regretting it now.
Very good movie.
Oh, I wish.
So Callum's just going to walk over there.
Excuse me, madam.
Your voice causes her to just kind of almost startle herself awake, and with a quick bounce, she's quick to hop onto her feet and just ever so lightly start dusting herself off as she does so.
Good afternoon. I couldn't.
She's so cute.
Aw.
Oh, good heavens, everybody! I
You woke her up?
apologize that you found me like this. I guess I got a bit flustered up with everything going around, and I just got a bit overwhelmed with everything. Greetings. My name's Emeralda. What's yours?
Oh, well, my name is Callum Froome Debnot Fizzy Britches Herringbone Ridgebottom.
Oh, so that's his fault.
Oh, that is a magnificent name, if I do say so myself. Well, Mr. Ridgebottom, you, my fine, charming Mr. Sample of a Man, have the fine opportunity of being one of the very first to encounter the world's finest carnival goers. Emeralda's night to remember, one of a kind night to be had for you and your friends or lovers or whoever these fine folk are behind you. If you're so interested in perhaps trying out some of my more recent carnival games.
Do you happen to have group rates?
Is
I'm
there a
sure
Groupon we can
something
have? Or
can be arranged. If you'll only just give me but a moment, gather your things, and you can follow me shortly. As she reaches out, and one hand is quick to grab the haft of her broom, that she then kind of saddles up, side saddle, and starts drifting herself upwards towards the rooftops. And as she does so, she starts just kind of loosely powdering out a fine, sprinkling glitter dust-like powder into the air around her, starting these fine clouds into the immediate street. And as she continues drifting up, her voice starts to boom and echo like thunder through these clouds of glitter dust. And her voice starts calling out, "The festival is coming! The Open Festivals Games is popping up here in the city of MistHaven. The finest carnival across all planes and manners of know-how. Emeralda's finest fineries." Name is still a bit in production, but I assure you the times to be had are like none other that you'll find across any other plane. Whatever harvest you may have, may it be plentiful and full of joy. Enjoy the games, enjoy these challenges, and keep any prizes you may earn. For those of you who may not know, I am the Harvest Witch, Emeralda, and you may call me the ringleader of this festival of finery and fun. Let today be nothing but oft wonderful memories. As she starts drifting herself back down and shoots off a couple of arcs of flaming light that can explode like fireworks up into the sky, she starts swooping around the immediate vicinity, and almost trailing behind her, this illusionary spell just starts filling all of the street stalls and vendors with pumpkins and autumnal colors as these warm oranges and reds and yellows start shifting the colors and hues of every other fabric present in the street as it takes on a much more fall festival kind of look. As she starts to lower herself back down in front of Callum.
That is, well, that's most fortuitous. It sounds wonderful. A carnival. It has been years since I've been to a carnival.
Well, we are happy to have you.
I did want to ask, your broom. I am a purveyor of fine magical items, and was curious, would you perhaps be willing to part with it to make an excellent addition to my shop?
Though I do find you quite flattering, I'm afraid this is a bit of a family heirloom, this one. I'll be holding on to this, but you're more than welcome to help yourself to many of the fine prizes about the carnival. Perhaps you'll find something there of interest to you.
Well, it was what they ask, but yes.
And he turns around and looks at the others and kind of gives a little extra long glance at Zara and then says,
So would you guys like to go to the carnival?
Why not? Carnivals are always fun.
I think that would be a wonderful idea, Callum.
I think she's trying to kill us.
No, she's just trying to take your money, Zara. Keep it close.
I mean, same thing.
Well,
I mean, who put you up to this, Esmeralda? Why are you doing this?
Oh, the name's Emeralda, if you please. Nobody in particular put me up to this, if you will, but I've often found that the best way to spread hope and inspiration is through actions of one's own self. It's oft time to find harder reasons to smile these days, and so sometimes it's best to leave one's cherished memories to look back upon in their difficult times. Better times to look back on. And when you're at our carnival, every day is the best of days.
Can Zara insight that? That doesn't
Sure thing.
seem right.
Roll me an insight check.
While she's inciting, Agrimar's going to whisper to Callum. I noticed that you have a connection with Zara. I suggest that you might want to take the lead. Just grab her by the hand and impress her. Perhaps use your magic on a ball game of some sort, or maybe some darts and win her a prize. She enjoys the chase, so take her on a journey.
All right, thanks.
Take charge, Callum.
Take charge, right.
Strength! That's what you need.
Take charge. Strength. Take charge. Okay. All right, thanks.
No one does that out of the kindness of their hearts. You have something up your sleeves. MistHaven did not just get invaded for you just to come up and say, "Oh, I'm having a carnival." I think that's really suspicious.
Well, I certainly appreciate your optimism. Tell me, dear, are you a fan of pies? Drinking, fighting, gambling, cards, dice, whack-a-mole? Tell me, what sin suits your fancy? What draws a smile to your face?
So, Zara, what better way to make sure that she's not up to no good than to go and keep an eye on her? I'll be happy to accompany you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be watching you. Emeralda. I legitimately cannot remember her name.
You got it right that time.
Esmeralda?
Emeralda.
There's no
okay,
Z.
Emerald. Okay, Emerald. I'll be watching you.
Well, then you're only doing yourself a disservice for losing sight of the wonders that you'll be surrounding yourself with.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. She's definitely up to something, guys.
But tell you what, dearie, maybe you play your cards right. Maybe. And mayhaps I'll be looking back your direction as the night sky draws closer. So I suppose we'll be keeping an eye out for each other then. She shoots you a wink.
Come on, Callum. Let's go enjoy the festivities. And she'll, I don't know, wink back at her while kind of, you know what? She'll flip her off as she's walking back like, fuck you, lady.
She chuckles back and just kind of similarly flips you off as she hops down off of her broom, the 1.5 feet that she's hovering up in the air, and scoops up the broom with both of her hands and starts swirling it into the alleyway in front of her, and just beginning an incantation of sorts as this vortex begins to appear in front of her, as a kind of lichen-like moss begins to sprout out from this vortex, stretching like curtains. As it pulls open, this small meadow appears out in the middle of this alleyway, in a space far larger than the space betwixt these two buildings. This strange optical illusion as she opens this portal to this carnival field, where out in the middle of this field, with a low lit kind of dusk glow of the summer sky, all sorts of lights and smells of this carnival spread out before you can be seen.
Oh shit, we're going to the Dark Moon Fair.
And
am I the only one that plays WoW?
Yeah,
No, I know what you meant.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ben.
And if you'd like, feel free to click on the link as you step through the portal.
Oh.
Ooh.
An entirely new campaign.
I'm in the wrong thing.
Oh no. Oh, leaves from the vine.
Leaves from the vine.
Oh, coming so slow.
So,
Like
as the
Brian.
shells drift.
as the carnival opens in the portal, Callum is going to very bravely grab Zara's hand and start walking through the portal.
I'm not taking my eyes off of her. Something suspicious is
sick.
going on. It's nice.
As you guys step forward into this portal, Callum holding tightly to Zara as he leads her forward into the unknown. The warmth and just humidity are probably the first couple of things that hit your senses, followed by the delightful smell of sweets, candied apples, kettled corn. Somewhere in the distance, the burning smell of bacon and meats drizzling over a grill fire somewhere. The distant sounds of laughter and joy being had. Faint drifting music fills the meadow that you guys find yourselves in. And just general revelry and pleasantness fills the air, save for the occasional distinct, like, punching a ox sound of a fist fight sprawled out in the middle ring of this festival center, with a couple of just fist boxers just going to town on one another, punching and swinging wildly, with a decently sized crowd gathered around, as one of them throws up his hands and the other stops swinging, and there's a roar of applause about the audience around them as all manner of coin is exchanged from the gathered audience. And uproars of applause are being spread, and all manner of activities are being seen around this place.
As they step,
As everyone steps through and Callum kind of takes all that in, he kind of blinks for a second and then says,
"Oh no, we forgot to tell Rafal and Nari. They should have come with us." Damn it.
I have a feeling they're investigating the Queen's treasure chambers. We don't want to interrupt that.
It's about time.
I mean, he hasn't asked for help, so clearly he's doing something right.
Maybe. Well, wait, hold on. Tuli, didn't you serenade him at one point?
Serenade Rafal?
Yeah.
No, I
Didn't-
serenaded the queen for Rafal
Oh.
while they were on their little date in the tower of the castle.
A lover's tryst it is.
Wasn't that last week? Should have.
Yeah.
Has
In
it
the
been a
time-
week already?
In the timeline of things, how close are we to the end of our peaceful 10 months?
Funny you should ask that, dear. Time, as you might be familiar with it, gets a bit wibbly-wobbly here.
Oh god, we're in a portal to hell.
Is this how Ryan's gonna get us into hell?
More like
You lose at a card game, you lose in real life.
More so like a space between spaces.
I am all too familiar with spaces between spaces. Times against times.
Are any of you
have-
familiar with the Feywild?
I know quite a bit about it. I haven't been there myself.
I know that you can solve it with a cream.
Well, you've
I
been
do
here now.
have I do have greater restoration in case you get the Fey itch.
Well, feel free to make yourselves at home. I personally would recommend you starting out at the pie eating contest. That way you might be able to walk it off to participate again later this afternoon before making your way back home and about your business.
Uh-huh.
So if you would only just tell me what might tickle your interests, I might be able to better point you in a direction. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to just wander freely.
I'm going to make eyes at Emeralda, and I'm just going to look at Tuli and just raise my eyebrows. I think I have a handle on everything that I want to do. Thank you.
Very well then, and if you need me, simply call out. I'll be listening. Otherwise, I'll be seeing how the other patrons are tending their nights. Salutations, everyone, and keep a smile on those faces. As she starts to drift up on the broom, riding side saddle once again, just starts circling around the fair.
And Callum looks around at the group and says,
Well, that's not a carnival if you just don't eat more than's good for you. The pie eating contest sounded like a fun time.
Well, hold on, guys. We don't really know who this Emeralda fellow is. I think we should take some careful observations before we go into this, because we really don't know what...
I think you're not having fun. And Agrabah is going to take Zara and Tuli's hand and start walking into the place.
All right.
When was the last time that you just didn't think about something and just went head first?
We fought the Phoenix.
Exactly, and look how that turned out. You did so well, so
But,
let's go
that
eat some
entire
pie.
week where we killed the Golden Lotus was not a thought in my head. Just, oh god, don't die.
Oh my god, yes, I remember that.
And look at the friendships we've made along the way. Let's just go let it all hang loose.
As Agramar begins to step forward into the archway of this large red dragon's open maw, flames begin to spew out from his nostrils, though no temperature is felt from them. These huge gouts of flame spew out to the left and right of this entryway as Agramar begins to step through. Agramar, to your immediate left, looks to be a bit of a food court with a couple of small shops set up with all manner of pastries, baked, burned, and beverages available, as well as a couple of tables that are starting to be laid out in lines with a couple of specific seats being kind of taped off, and you hear somebody barking out for the first round of the pie eating contest.
So, who wants to get messy?
Come on, sounds like fun. Let's all do it.
Zara, Tuli?
Not the biggest fan of sweet things, but I always love a challenge.
My suggestion would be go for the cinnamon pie. It's more spicy than sweet. Little heat on your tongue.
As rows of pies start to be set up in front of each specific seat. And so essentially, like, chair number 1 is going to have to eat nothing but blueberry pies. Chair number 2, nothing but pecan pies. Chair number 3, chicken pot pies. Chair number 4,
oh, meat pies is an option. Okay.
Pie. Chair number 5, and so on. Different types of both sweet and savory pies being spaced out at the different chairs. Some you can make out what the pies are. Others with the baked crust over the top are a bit more difficult to determine.
I'm going to use my enhanced sense of smell to go for something extremely spicy.
All right.
I don't
Go
have
ahead.
an enhanced sense of smell.
Roll me a nature check, Agrimar.
All right.
Or survival.
Either way, 17 on the die. I think it's about the same, right? No, survival's wisdom. We'll go 21.
You see the vendor setting down one set of pies at a chair, and as he does so, he's having to kind of pat down his brow and wipe his eyes from the sweat and water that's starting to billow up there. And he keeps just kind of just sniffing his nose after setting those pies down. But he seems to be all right after delivering the next set of pies.
I will sit at that chair.
All right.
Truly, can you believe this? Like, come on. They're obviously trying to do something. I mean, who would give out free pies?
No,
A halfling-
but just
A halfling gentleman scampers up to the table, and he sits himself at one of these seats, occupying one of the 6 spaces at this table.
just to soothe Kevin's nerves a little bit. Can I use one of my divine senses, like,
Absolutely.
just to see if there's like anything like going on around us?
You want me to purify food?
That tells you celestials, fays, fiends, or undead.
Just celestials, fiends, and undead.
As you send
Fae,
this
not so much.
pulse about the immediate area, you detect no celestials, fiends, or undead within this area.
Okay. So she'll turn to Kevin and be like, "There's nothing like evil around us at the moment, but I think you could. I think we're fine for right now. But like,
Zara,
Okay.
hurry up. The seat's being taken. Grab one.
I'll do it if you do it.
Fine, but if we're poisoned, you owe me 10 gold. How about that?
And tell you what,
She'll hold
if
her
you get
hand out to shake her hand. Deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Deal.
gentle ladies bargain, I like it.
They're bonding, and Zara will follow Tuli and sit right next to her, probably. And I want to make this maybe between 2 other people.
A 10-year-old climbs up and sits in the chair just beside Zara with a bit of a nervous expression across his face. And about 10 to 15 feet away, you can hear his parents cheering him on. "It's all right. You've got this. You can eat all of those pies. You're going to make us all so proud. Yeah, you got this, man."
What are the rules to this competition?
So those participating in the pie eating contest, the first round of pies, I'm going to need a Constitution check.
Okay,
Or
hey,
Constitution
Brian,
saving throw. Yes.
quick question. Okay. My thing is, what if it's a dexterity saving throw? Because hear me out. we're trying to, like...
Are you trying to dodge your pie?
I'm trying to dodge not throwing up my pie.
How big is your shirt?
Still a con save.
That sounds like a stomach-based save.
Exactly.
Now, if you were trying to stuff it in your bra, I would go for dexterity.
So are you saying your stomach is actively trying to do flips?
Yes,
Stomach flips.
and I am matching those flips with my own flips.
Make a
All
con
right,
save.
so since Zara's already got the butterflies in her stomach, she's making this first check at disadvantage.
Ah, fuck.
Agamar is going to make eyes with Callum and just kind of tell him, he'll put his hands up and say easy, and then tap his clock and be like, a soft face, like, you've got time. Be all right.
All right, boys and girls, I recommend pacing yourselves as best as you can. I'll do my best to keep track of who's still in this, but feel free to go ahead and dive right in. I'll call it as I see it. All right, looks like we got the short girl over there who's doing her best to hold things down, but things are not looking like they're going to be continuing so well. The lightheaded girl seems to be not favoring the choice that she's sat in front of. That chicken pot pie is going to be quite difficult to keep down as the rounds continue onwards. But it looks as though that big fella's having no problem scooping down the chow that he sat himself in front of.
You said it's a Constitution save?
Yes, please.
Come on, Callum, assert your dominance. You got this.
Yeah,
Oh
Callum!
my god.
All right, so
That's pure horny energy right there. He's got to put it down.
So the vendor makes his way around and scoops up Thule's hand as he raises it high above her head, and then likewise reaches forward and grabs hold of that 10-year-old's hand and raises it up above his head. And I'd like to hear a large round of applause for our participants as they are all doing their best, and I would like to congratulate our first two winners with a high five from yours truly. You should feel immaculately proud of what you've accomplished so far, but I would recommend just seating yourselves out from participating further to avoid any such unpleasantries going forward. As he stops kind of looking at the kid and is looking a bit more towards Thule, who didn't seem to do so well with the first half of her pie.
I think it's no surprise to anyone that Thule does not have a strong stomach.
As the second round continues, finishing off the first pie with another round of con saves from everybody.
What's wrong, Thule? Not giving up now, are we? Can I not be at disadvantage anymore?
You're past your initial butterflies, so it's just a straight roll for you now.
Fuck yeah, let's do it!
Callum!
Oh, fuck.
Look at that.
What do you got, Thule? Are you in?
No. Thule stepped out after the first round.
The sound
She is-
of pie tins, one after another, can be heard crashing to the floor as the contestants are quick to whip out the second pie and start diving into it. Nobody's out after the second round. Can I get another con save as it's getting a bit more difficult to keep everything down after consuming the entirety of that first whole pie and starting to eat mouthful after mouthful of this second one.
That was a natural 20 for Agramar.
Oh, damn, dude.
Agramar downs his with little difficulty.
This is like a normal meal for Agramar.
That's not fair. He's got like 6 stomach.
The halfling gentleman just kind of scoops up a large spoonful of his pie and unfortunately is unable to force it into his already overstuffed mouth as his chewing just starts slowing, as his eyelids just start drooping lower and lower, and the audible sound of snoring can start to be heard from the halfling's corner of this table, as now it's just the 3 of you left in this competition.
Oh, fuck yeah,
I
top
have to ask at
3.
this point, what type of pie is Callum eating?
I believe you chose blueberry.
Well, I don't know, because I was going to pick blueberry, but then I was going to sit next to Zara, and then that didn't happen. So, like, you can basically
do you want to sit
tell me
next to
where I ended
Agramar?
up.
So
I just
based on
haven't grabbed the empty
Callum's
spot.
based on Callum's roll so far, what flavor pie you think he's got?
I think he's. I mean, blueberry will work. It's like if I had one really bad roll, I would have said pecan.
Wait, what do you have
Are
against
you-
pecan pie?
Are you slandering pecan pie?
How could you slander pecan pie?
I don't like pecan
Rightfully
pie.
so.
You don't like pecan pie?
Ben personally had, like, my grandfather had a pecan tree in his yard, and I had like entire grocery bags of pecans when I was growing up. Let's just
Sounds
say
like
that
heaven.
like spending weekends at my grandparents playing Final Fantasy and eating pecans eventually got to the point where I'd had too many of them.
I'm not big on desserts, so that's why I chose the spicy pie.
Oh.
All right, so Callum's face at this point is just it's mostly covered in like blueberry stains.
As the vendor walks over and places a small 5-coin stack in front of the halfling gentleman, as he pats him on the back and just kind of raises his own jacket over the back of the halfling, just kind of tucking him in at the table. He's like, all right, looks like we still have 3 go-getters ready to go get it. All right, can I get another Constitution saving throw?
Oh, never mind.
As Callum finishes his second pie, Agramar tosses
Natural
his
18.
empty tin aside.
Zara?
What did Zara get?
Or did Zara decide they needed to get back in the car and go get a coffee?
Sorry, my microphone's being weird right now. I'm trying to fix it. Hello? Oh, yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Ah, another con saving throw?
Yes, please.
Oh, God. $18.
All right. As the vendor walks around and Kevin kind of feels herself having to force down the last of her second pie after hearing Callum finish his and toss it beside. And as he starts on his third, then Agramar tosses his tin aside and starts in on his third pie. Kevin's feeling a little bit sluggish after eating 2 entire pies. Kevin, would you like to bow out of this competition?
I didn't hear no Val, so no.
All right. As the 3 contestants continue to force themselves onward, Zara,
Agramar is actually going to wave his hand and stand up. And he'll tap Callum on the shoulder, and I'm going to cast guidance. I have to stop. Too much. Good luck, you two. And I'm going to give guidance to Callum.
All right. Then we have our third winner for the evening, as we have left it all on the table betwixt these two, as everything comes down to this. Can I have another final Constitution?
As he leaves, Agramar will say, "Let her win."
And what does guidance do?
It gives you a D4.
Okay, D4.
On ability checks
Yeah.
or saves?
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's on any D20 roll.
Excellent.
But in this case, I would think that if he wants to stifle his luck, he could, if he wanted to go below her.
I'm going to roll the D4, and we're going to see what happens.
If you roll a 4, you beat her. Anything else, it's a tie.
Roll a 4. Roll a 4. Roll a 4.
Wait. Okay, I'm rolling this like in the box here, so hang on a second. I rolled a 2.
Aww.
17, one below.
Zara, what's it look like as you finish your third pie before both Agramar or Callum?
It's just a laborious process. So one after another, after another, after another, and just the last bite, looking at this one little crumb, Kevin's going to throw aside her like fork and spoon and just stuff it into her mouth and just kind of just lay her head on the table.
I now have the perfect image. As she throws her stuff aside, she doesn't realize that she just threw it right at Callum.
Yes.
And so, like, Callum, like, gets hit in the side of the head with a spoon and kind of looks over and he loses his momentum. And he's just like, oh.
I think I'm done. Congratulations.
Oh, come on. I think we can go one more round. Don't give up on the economy.
All right. You got it. One more.
Right, one more.
Are you both sure about that?
We said one more round.
All right. One more pie between the two of you. Whoever finishes their half first will be our winner. All right, one more pie then, as he kind of turns back around towards his little stall, fumbles around for a moment or two, just leaving the two of you to stare into each other's eyes before he returns with two halves of a pie.
So what kind of look is Zara given? I mean, is this like the I'm gonna win, I'm gonna kick your ass kind of look?
No, it's the I'm really trying to control my stomach right now kind of look. With full confidence, but with that mixed into there. So like 25% confidence.
Excellent. And Callum's doing the thing like he's trying to control it, but he can't tell whether he should win, should he lose, like what. And he just says basically just screw it. I'm gonna do my best. If she wins, awesome. If I win, I hope that's not a mistake.
All right, so can I get one final con save from the two of you?
Oh, 17. I've been rolling really good on Constitution saving.
As Kevin is able to finish her half of the pie slightly quicker than Callum, cleaning her plate with that last scoop of a fork. And you hear the roar of applause from the nearby gathered audience of about 30 or 40 people who have gathered around this table and are now all audibly cheering for this halfling girl who just bested this half giant, this air genasi, this half orc, this child, and this gnome all in one go. And the vendor makes his way over towards your part of the table as he's quick to raise your hand up above your head victoriously. He says, "We have a winner! Can I get your name, fine darling?"
It's up. It's up.
Dog needs water.
I need to go.
Miss Aina, go, everybody! Thank you!
That's a good cover. I need it.
Your winnings, my dear, as he places a small purse in front of you on your now emptied pie tin, as well as what looks to be a small, like kind of like a lapel pin, like a badge almost.
It's like an anime pie with googly eyes.
It's like it's a small black ebony fly, and that fly is just ever so loosely holding on to this tiny muffin from the looks of it. The muffin has these gemstones embedded into it, and he says, "This is something known as an oopsie muffin, but make sure that fly never releases it until you're ready. But if you eat that oopsie muffin, well, your whole world will go all topsy-turvy for a few moments."
Mm-hmm.
Effectively,
just give you drugs.
you eat that muffin and gravity is reversed for you for 1d6 minutes.
Oh shit.
Magic shrooms.
Magic muffins.
Magic muffins.
These edibles have really got a kick.
That's great. That's fantastic. Where's your bathroom?
Well, if you'll only stand up and make your way over here to the water closet.
That's great. Kevin will step down, walk past Tuli. Can you...
Kevin, you stand yourself up, and as soon as you step away from the table, that bloated feeling just vanishes.
Aw, damn it. Oh.
What did second place get?
He steps up behind Callum and hands you a small stack of 20 gold coins.
Well, did Kevin get any gold, like, out of this deal?
Kevin got 30 gold and the oopsie muffin.
Tight.
Did anybody else notice there's a smiley face on the firecracker?
Where?
The fireworks right in the middle. He's got a smiley face and he's kind of like mischievous looking.
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Sorry,
what you're
Yes,
I
I
was
see that.
severely
Right
distracted this whole time by the smiley face.
Kind of looks evil, actually.
He's gonna get into some shit.
Whack
Is that why Agrimar stepped away? He saw
I had to talk to a man
evil
about a firework.
fireworks. I need to talk to your manager about this mascot. It's highly offensive.
That'd be Rafal. He's a paladin. It's not appropriate for children.
As you guys make your way up from the pie eating contest, there's a little bit of celebrity associated with Zara now as people start to cheer her on as she makes her way around the carnival grounds.
I probably shouldn't have won that thing. Did anyone notice that they're not feeling as bloated anymore? Is that usually normal? Should we be trusting this place anymore?
Were you feeling sick while you were eating? I felt just fine.
Yeah, I felt sick.
Oh, what were you eating?
I don't know. Raspberry, I think?
Ah, there's your problem. Too much of that is poisonous.
Tuli, hey, so remember our deal? Too much of that is poisonous. I could have died, so,
But did you?
I died a little inside. I think
That doesn't count.
That totally does count.
I die a little inside every time Rafal gives me a pouty glare. But that doesn't stop me.
You get used to it. That, like, glare of disappointment just loses its touch. Eventually he'll get too tired.
It sounds like you are just a wuss.
A wuss? Excuse me. I am not a wuss. I have just adapted. And I didn't back out after the first round.
I don't have a strong stomach. What can I say?
Then you've got to take it, and you've just got to lead by it. You don't back down after the first round. I thought I was down for the count, but I didn't, and I stuck through it. And I'm 30 gold pieces higher, and I could have been poisoned, and I wasn't. I want that 10 gold.
No. You said if somebody died, you would get the 10 gold. No one's dead. None of us are dead.
You know, that was a terrible bet to make, Zara. No one's gonna die around me. Only I'm gonna die around me.
But, sorry, Kevin, if you are feeling so put out by losing this little thing, how about I challenge you to arm wrestling, maybe?
There's a slight gasp from some of the onlookers in the audience.
Oh, come on. Arm wrestling is a bit too...
If you're weak, just say so.
Oh, no. It's just a bit too, well, stereotypical. And it's so cliche. Why not? And she'll take out a dagger. And I imagine they're walking past us. And she'll slam it in, just stab the stump. Why not a game of dagger fingers? I don't know what they're actually
Dagger
called.
finger.
Yeah, it's, it's where
Like the knife game?
Yeah, the knife
Handsy
game.
knifesies.
Handsy knifesies.
Well, my dear, I would highly recommend you play something a bit more child-friendly. Might I recommend settling your differences over a game of whack-a-mole, perhaps?
Oh, whack-a-mole! We gotta do whack-a-mole.
What the hell is a no?
The pie vendor kind of points across the way at a small booth that's been set up. It looks as though it's like a table where the base legs have all been covered up, and the tabletop has a series of about 20 holes cut out of the top of it. And standing in front of that table is your average heighted human with a large padded mallet in both of his hands, and every so often what looks like a humanoid dog head with this bleeding maw of teeth pops up from one of these holes, and he swings the mallet down and smashes the gnoll into the head. Again and again and again, and they pop randomly out from these 20 or so holes, sometimes in groups, sometimes one at a time. But he's doing his darndest to hit all of them before they pop back down. And
those things aren't alive, right?
They are not. They all look to be animatronics.
Oh, thank God.
As the barker sees this vendor pointing up his way, and he focuses his attention towards the group. Have you the eyes of a hawk, the quick string blow of a hydra, the reflexes of a water elemental? You can test yourselves in a game of speed and agility. Wield your mallet with haste to defeat the onslaught. Do you have what it takes to whack a gnoll? Step right up, only 10 gold pieces a play.
If you three want to go for it. I'm afraid I might break the machine.
And Callum's going to copy something he saw Agrimar do earlier. He's going to grab Zara and Tuli's hands and just start walking in that direction. Of course, he's quite a bit smaller, so we'll see how this goes.
Tuli has to bend over. Wait, is that one of the ones that someone else gave you?
No, it's the one that I picked. It's the one that I managed to find out. I found in the street. Yes, someone gave it to me.
I will get it, Kevin. Just go have fun. Agrimar will grab the dagger out of the stump and follow them.
How many daggers do I have?
You have 5, don't you?
Yeah, you have an obscene amount of daggers.
Hey.
More than enough.
More than her body can carry.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 daggers. Damn it.
Well, here's 5, and I hand you the other one back.
Nobody needs 6 daggers for a fair.
As who?
Hey, whenever there's if there's ever like a 6 carnies who comes after us, it'll be important that we have 6 daggers, and you'll thank me.
Don't you know that carnies are
they play with daggers all day. They'll just catch them.
to piercing damage, specifically from daggers?
Mm-hmm. It's their one weakness.
Throw it back at you.
Daggers.
That's why they pad all of their instruments.
Ah.
Go have fun, you 3.
Yes, let's go. Come on.
Callum pulls Zara forwards towards the whack-a-mole stall. With a hurry to... Go ahead.
If Tuli doesn't really... Like, if I'm trying to grab Tuli's hand and she doesn't come along, I'm just going to let go and just keep walking.
No, she'll walk as well. She wants to prove to Kevin that she's better.
It's a friendly rival friendship, remember?
Exactly. Before
everything went to shit. Everything went to shit.
The incident.
Before she became a trash person.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys make your way across the fairgrounds and start approaching the whack-a-mole station.
All right. The second place winner in the pie eating contest would like to take on the whack-a-mole.
All right. Let's see if you've got the stomach for this one. Who's going to be our first to step up. Or, if you'd like to make this a competition, I could separate each of you into your own section of the table.
I'll try it first.
Very well, step forward, Sir Knight. Wield your weapon and whack as many gnolls as you can in the time limit. The more gnolls you whack, the better your prize.
And how tall is this table compared to Callum?
There is a small stool available for most children, if you'd like to make use of that to get a little bit of advantage over the top of the table.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Then if you would so kindly roll me a dexterity check, sir.
Oh, damn. This isn't going to go well. Okay, dexterity check.
Can you use your
As a
intelligence
gnoll
to guess where it's going?
Pops up from the middle of one of these holes. His jaw distends down, and you hear this poor imitation of a wolf's howl. Ooh. As you swing downwards, but the animatronic is already receding back into his hole, your hammer crashes down into the tabletop, missing the gnoll. Oh, tough break, old friend. Tough break. Would you like to try again?
Callum, before you go, I think I understand how this works, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to not focus on a singular hole. You're going to focus on the entirety of it and just base your entire vision on movement alone, okay?
And Zara's is whispering it right beside him.
Just as soon as you see any type of movement, that's when you whack it. I think that's how it all works.
Right. Don't focus. Whack the movement.
Oh yeah, and wait, hold on. And Zara's going to position him too.
And also, don't just use your entire hand. Tuck your elbows in and just whack it. Your entire hand. You're slower when you just do it with your entire hand. Tuck in your elbows and only use your forearm.
Okay. Tuck the elbow. Don't focus. Movement.
All right, then no more practice rounds. This time is all the money. Swing away!
Zara's going to pat his back and walk back to Thule.
As the vendor flips a switch on the back of the table and 5 gnolls simultaneously all poke up from the different holes throughout the table. Bam, 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 bam! Callum smacks each of them in sequence before they're able to recede back under the table. Excellently done, my friend. As another sequence of gnolls pops up from the table, can I get another dexterity check? As you've made it to round 2. But this time there's a little bit too many gnolls that popped up all simultaneously. Best effort.
He got so excited about hitting those 5 that he completely lost the form Zara just gave him. And he like turns around with a big smile on his face, like, I got him. And then the next one pops up. And he's like, shit. Yeah.
Well, tell you what, friend, you did so finely, I'm willing to let you choose your own prize. You have any of your choice between pocket sand, a perfectly smooth stone, rope tied into a knot, or a small tooth.
I think I'll take the pocket sand.
Very well then, pocket sand for our champion, our whack-a-knoll winner. Would any of the rest of you care to test your reflexes?
Is Summer back yet?
It's only you, my fine dear. Would you care to try your luck?
I wanted to go up against. I wanted to go up against Thule. Yeah. Okay.
We can go to Agrimar for a second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Agrimar, as you are perusing this costume shop, is there anything in particular that you might be looking for?
Looking at Thule and then looking at the costumes. I just want to see if there's a mask that would accentuate her features.
roll me a nature check.
Certainly. Not so hot on the nature. 11.
So what sort of an animal mask would he like to find here?
Oh, a cat.
Cats, dogs, birds,
Snow leopard?
snakes. There are several available.
Find a snow leopard.
Different colors. All right. It's a relatively simple kind of paper mache mask. It looks to be probably for children, but like not like combat ready mask or anything like that. But it is relatively well made. The paint job seems to be unique, and it took somebody some serious craft time to throw this together. The vendor says, would you like an entire outfit put together? I could perhaps throw in a cloak or some silks if you'd like. Or if it's just the mask, that'll be 5 silver pieces.
Do you have a nice silk scarf?
I do. Any particular color? We've got velvets, purples, plush, blues, greens, royals, orange.
How about something red? Do you have a bright red?
Ooh, I'll see what I can do. She rummages about through her supplies, kind of moves several racks of clothing this way and that, like she's looking for something that's probably been misplaced. And it takes her a little bit longer than you were expecting, but she does start to come back with this like 8-foot long silk scarf with these gorgeous looking kind of, it's not frilled ends, but the like rope stringy bits. I don't know what they're called at the end of the scarf that like some rugs have. Yes, thank you.
Wait, are you saying that there are armored titty tassels here?
There could be.
If you wrap it around your neck enough times, it might just fit just right.
Try your luck.
Just enough to cover.
That's a very different game of whack-a-mole. But there is a nice scarf available for 2 more silver pieces.
I will take the lot for 7 silver pieces. Thank you. This is fantastic. They'll make a wonderful gift.
Enjoy your evening.
I'll have to take that out of my before Vale's armor fund, because I'm currently broke.
And with that
Wait, but didn't you get, like, 3rd place?
Did I get coin for 3rd place?
Got 15 gold pieces for the pie eating contest.
Perfect.
Place.
I'll pay her a gold and be done with it.
And with that is Zara's mortal whack-a-mole enemy back.
I don't know. Summer, are you there?
I can only buy so many costume items.
You know, sir, I also have this tiger mask available.
No more
We can
costumes.
also, we're doing a flashback episode. We can also like flash forward and then flash back during the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Good point. Any other games you guys want to try out? Or moments to be had?
Well, I think that Callum is, he's having a good time. He thinks Zara's having a good time. And like he's both like excited and a little flustered by their interaction there at the whack-a-mole table. And he's trying to be brave, he's trying to be a little more assertive. And he wants to go play a Suitor's Claim.
All right.
Oh, very apropos. I like it.
So as the two of you make your way around the fairgrounds later in the day, Callum earlier this evening heard the Barker calling out to test your deceptive and charming ways against a friend or a secret paramour. Bluff your way through a public date and dazzle them with that you have traveled far and wide to bring them.
I was reading over this, and
Step right up, step right up. Do you have what it takes to stare one another straight into the eye and see what lies beyond one's soul?
So, Zara, I want to challenge you.
Oh, you do? Really?
I do. I don't know if you heard him, but there's a contest of deceptive or charming ways. I think perhaps I can better you.
Okay. Yeah. Why not? I'm really good at deceptive ways, not so much charm. I tend to make a lot of enemies.
Well, perhaps we'll try your deception against my charm.
All right.
My dog was having a coughing fit, so I just had to make sure he was okay.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, he's fine. He just likes to eat his own fur. So he essentially coughed up a fur ball.
Yep, hairballs. Well, you have a whack-a-mole contest to win. Or
Oh
lose.
yeah.
Wow, a lot of confidence.
Of course.
So, as Zara gestures to this table beside her, where the whack-a-mole has been set up for a competition of a 1 versus 1 with Zara on one half of the table and Thule on the other, the vendor looks the two of you into the eyes as he lifts up his own hand with a red flag in it and says, "All right, if the two of you are ready to show down to find out who's the quickest to whack-a-mole, on my count, we'll see who hits the most, the fastest. Ready? Go!" And he swings down the flag as he trips the lever with his
A dexterity check or a dexterity save?
Dexterity check.
You don't get reliable talent because that's not a proficiency.
No!
Oh, Thule!
The first round, Kevin is able to hit her knolls faster than Thule, but Thule is still able to hit every knoll that pops up in the first round before the animatronics recede, and then a second batch pops back up. Can I get another dexterity check?
You guys are
please?
both +5 dex?
Yes. Oh my
both-
god.
Oh my
As-
god.
If in sync, the two of you smack your last batch from the second round at the same time, and they all simultaneously drop from the table, as you can hear the audible gears working and whirring beneath the table as these figures are moved around underneath. As
Are
the
we
third
breaking
round
it?
begins and they all pop up one more time, can I get another dexterity check from the two of you?
Oh, it's even.
Bam, bam,
Again?
bam, 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 bam,
Well,
bam.
no,
Thule is
it's
quick.
two. It's a tie and a 1 win each.
Thule catches the 3 of her whack-a-mole waves faster than Zara. Zara is looking up at Thule as she swings down and her hammer misses, and she doesn't realize as she continues swinging again and again as her gaze goes back down and the two of them smash the last knoll at the same time. Thule's side begins to recede from the table, down and out. Zara's click, but remain up at the top of the table. And the vendor says, "Oh, sorry luck. Out in the third round, I'm afraid. Well, I guess we know that this fine specimen has the reflexes of a water elemental, the eyes of a hawk, and the quick striking blow of a hydra." As he raises Thule's mallet high up into the air. "Can I get your name, my fine miss?"
It's Thule.
"Congratulations, Thule. You are the newest whack-a-mole champion." As he starts counting out 15 gold pieces for you, and then reaches behind his table for your prize.
That was lucky.
He produces this small, white, almost crystal clear stone that as soon as he drops it into your hand, it starts to form these small ice crystals where it lands. This is known as an Arctic stone. You can keep it inside of any liquid or beverage, and it'll keep it chilly cold for you.
Oh, fun.
Enjoy
Never
the
have to
rest
have a
of
warm
the
beverage again.
Precisely.
Oh,
That's actually pretty cool, honestly.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ryan, completely out of character. I have to say, I don't know how you pulled this off so quickly, but this is amazing.
This is what I had in my back pocket that never popped up earlier. So I've just had it kept in the back pocket since then.
Aw. That was a
So it works
lucky
out
break,
for stuff like
dude.
this.
This
But I
actually
got
feels like
that.
going to the carnival.
All right, then. So as Zara just kind of glowers towards Thule with this look on her face, as the camera fades away towards Thule's beaming look with pride filling her eyes, as the vendor outside of a suitor's claim kind of snaps Zara out from that memory that she just had, as Callum is pulling her towards this next booth. He says, "You can test your deceptive and charming ways against a friend or a secret paramour. Bluff your way through a public date and dazzle them with what you have traveled far and wide to bring them. Can I have my two contestants step forward, please? And if I'll have each of you stand back to back, and I will place something in the palm of each of your hands. You'll hold it up high and describe it for the other without showing them. The first to guess their item will be our victor." As he places the two of you up on this small stage, back to back, and he hands each of you an object into the back open hands, I guess. I'll whisper what object he places in each of your hands, and then we'll roll charisma checks to see how you guys can deceive, intimidate,
this is
or
Callum and
perform.
Kevin, right?
Yep.
Callum and Kevin.
You know, this reminds me of that SNL skit with Kristen Wiig.
Wait, actually, first question: does everyone see that whisper? Because everyone has access to that character sheet,
I
or
don't see
does
a whisper.
just Callum see that?
I don't even see a
I
whisper.
don't see anything.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whisper either.
Oh, that's good then.
Because he's not Callum in the game, he's Ben R.
Now I see it.
All right, so Ben sees his. Rachel, do you see your whisper?
Yes.
So he places an object in each of your hands, stands the two of you back to back, and can I have the two of you roll me opposed charisma checks? And you can feel free to whisper those to the DM.
Okay, so it's a charisma check, not a persuasion or...
So it's your choice between deception, intimidation, performance, or persuasion, depending on how you'd like to describe your object.
You included deception, right?
Yes.
Any
Any
charisma skill.
charisma-based check.
Oh, Ugh.
So how would the two of you like to start describing your objects, starting with Zara?
So wait, quick question. It's
I'm assuming Rachel knows what such an object is. and has seen
yes, I
something.
do. But the thing is, that roll, is it actually what I think it is? Is it the?
Gonna whisper a follow-up question.
Oh, okay. I'm being difficult, and I'm sorry.
It's fine. Tully and I are just sitting here in awe of what's going on. Dumbfounded for words.
I don't know. I'm going to say no.
My mind is very dirty, and it went to a dark place. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep my comments to myself.
It's fluffy. It's fluffy. It's white.
Is it a rabbit?
No. It's not alive. Can Zara kind of lick it?
Is it
Zara
a
begins
cotton puff?
to lick her item.
No, it's not. It doesn't. It's not cottony. It's kind of. It's
marshmallow.
No. It's not fluffy in that sense. It's kind of. It's kind of. It's kind of jagged. It's white in kind of like the middle of it. It's kind of yellow.
Is it a daisy?
No. It's not a flower. I think I can't really describe the taste. I don't know. I've never really seen it before. It's kind of white, jaggedy, and in the middle of it, it's yellow.
How would you give it to your suitor here?
What do you mean, suitor?
Well, if you and this fine specimen were out on an evening together, how might you present your partner with this object of desire from your travels?
I just don't understand why you immediately went to that. I mean, come on. I mean, are we just friends right now?
My dear, you've stepped up to the suitor's claim. If the two of you claim not to be suitors, then I'm afraid you've managed to fool nobody but yourselves here.
No, that's not. No, we're just really good. I would hand my friend right here. I would put it in his palm and I don't know, make him crack it. Maybe throw it in his mouth. No. An egg's not fluffy. No, it kind of cracks. Maybe pop.
Is it popcorn?
Well. We do have a fine guesser, it seems. Now I wonder if he'll be quicker with his descriptions and if she'll be quicker with her guesses to find out who is truly the more gifted weaver of words. My fine sir, tell us if you all wouldn't mind what you've brought for your fine lady from your travels far and wide. What is it you hold behind your back?
Well, it's a miniature person that doesn't move unless you move it. It isn't metal. It isn't stone.
Is it a doll?
Yes, it's a particular kind of doll.
Is it a puppet?
It's more of what it's made of. It's not stone, not metal, not earth. It would grow and be carved.
A tree? A block of wood? A marionette?
You're very, very close. It is a doll made of... You had it made of trees.
A wooden puppet.
Ah, there is a spark of light up there.
Excuse me, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, it seems that your fine sir is a bit more suited in his words than you yourself. Nothing against you, of course, my dear. I'm sure you gave everyone here a giftable show. As a couple of people passing by, give some loose applause. But if you wouldn't mind, sir, if you'd so kindly reach forward into this sack and produce your prize. as she holds out a large rucksack open in front of you. To the victor goes the spoils.
And Callum reaches in, and he rustles around for a minute until he feels something that he thinks that feels interesting, and grabs it.
You grab something with a bit of an interesting texture, kind of slightly grainy to it. And as your hand pulls free, what you've sold in your shop on the occasional festive years, something known as gossip cookies. Inside of each of these cookies is a small little scrap of paper with some arcanely divined rumor or piece of gossip relevant to you or your person that will be revealed at the time that the cookie is opened.
Ooh.
How many are there? Do I just have the one?
Just the one.
All right.
Well, this is most interesting. Zara, have you ever seen these before?
No.
It's called
Kevin.
A gossip cookie.
Callum, as you look over to ask Kevin this, you see that behind you, as this woman is holding this large sack open, Kevin is already doing her best to reach her fingers into the open robe pockets of this presenter on the stage that the two of you are on.
When I noticed that, because I've already grabbed the thing out, right?
You've taken your prize, and she's using this opportunity of your distracting to try and rob the vendor.
Oh my God. Do I see that?
I'm going to do what I can to help her.
How close is Agrimar?
Well, if I think we would be right there after the last thing. Tuli and I.
And you tell me, does Agrimar choose to see this?
Oh, I was watching intently to learn what not to do.
Then roll me a perception check.
All right.
I don't think he can beat that, though.
Oh, well, maybe not. But I do have advantage because I have my shield.
Got your shield out right now?
Always equipped. Come on. Unless I'm at the forge.
Not when you were naked.
Not when I was naked. 21.
You don't see anything suspicious happening.
Reliable talent.
You see Callum claiming a prize from a bag.
Do I notice Callum noticing?
You notice Callum starting to talk to Kevin up on stage as he starts to nervously sweat a little bit.
I'm going to try. I don't know if Kevin is doing something, but I'm guessing she's doing something that she shouldn't be doing based on Callum's knowledge.
If you see Callum nervous and sweating, you have to assume it's only because he's, doing his best to make this into a date with Zara.
No, my insight's very good. You've been strong up to this point. You know she's doing something wrong. Anyway, good. Proceed. I don't know anything.
It's called a gossip cookie. What?
And he turns to the vendor.
Where did you find these? It's so rare I see them.
Well, Fae can be a bit tricksy about their magics, particularly when it comes to secrets. It seems to be their speciality. And with all the close ties that MistHaven has to the Feywild, well, I'm surprised our carnival hasn't stopped by sooner.
Really? MistHaven has close ties to the Feywild?
Oh, absolutely. From what I understand, there are all manner of pixies and fey creatures traipsing about your gutters, making them your home. More often than not, fighting off the house drakes that the arcane mages have summoned up and frugalously let go before attempting to harness them into their fine familiar spells. If I understand things, if it wasn't for these fey beings that you commonly referred to as gutter fey in your city, I'm sure your city would have been overrun by these wild summoning of imps from the lesser equipped mages, the more novice spellcrafters.
Oh god, we forgot to fill Callum in.
We always do.
Nevertheless, I understand things. More people than are generally happy to spread the wealth and happiness that they have, happy to share their offerings to the Fae. Simple offerings, even. A piece of silver left out on a windowsill here, or a bowl of cream left out in an alley there. The offerings might seem meager, but they are all the world to a Fae. When their pride is scrubbed to a shine, it is all that it takes to make a dear friend for life.
Well, it's just so nice to see these again. They're such fun. Zara, would you like to come with me and see what it says?
Did I succeed?
You did.
Yeah,
Of
sure.
course you did.
Yeah. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
All right, let's find Agamar and Tula. Let's see what they want to do next.
You look just off stage and we're right there.
Are they going to do it? Are they going to play
Zara
the game?
asks Agramar and Tuli.
Yes, you
Truly, we'll
Come
turn
on.
towards Agramar
Come
and give him a
on.
wink. I don't know. Do you want to see how good you are with your words? See if you are a fine suitor, maybe?
I'm not as well adept as you, but I'll give it a shot.
Ugh, you guys should just kiss already.
And Callum like starts pushing Agramar towards the tent, like kind of like just above his knee, trying to like shove him a little bit.
Hey, has Truly up until this point given anything away that she knows thieves can't? I'm just wondering, like how.
Oh, that's a good question.
This is
'cause
before
at
Thieves
this point, nope, this is when she's actively learning Thieves Can't.
So she knows some basic.
I'd say that's up to Ryan.
Well, does Kevin want to try and do anything to determine if Tuli understands it, or are you just asking for the sake of asking?
I'm just wondering if Tuli has divulged that to her, because if so, I want to help Tuli cheat. I don't like this woman. Did Tuli at any point tell Zara during the 10 months that she was...
I don't think she shared with anyone.
Ah, damn
But
it.
nevertheless, Kevin could certainly attempt something while Tuli is performing.
Do you speak
Yeah.
Thieves Can't in Thieves Can't?
Yes. Kevin's going to pull Tuli aside and go, look here, I don't like that woman, okay? I don't like her. She's cheeky. She's assuming things that just aren't there, okay? I mean, have I looked at someone before? Yes, but that doesn't mean anything now, does it? But I am going to help you, okay? So if you can understand what I'm doing, then just understand. Just try to understand me, okay? I'll try to do something. I just need you to focus on me, and I'll help you out because I don't like that woman.
Julie's gonna kind of give Kevin a weird look, like, okay.
Great. Okay. We are going to beat her at her own game. Now go win this game. And I don't know. Whatever.
Well, it looks like we have our next pair of lovers stepping forward. The suitors claim this evening. If the two of you wouldn't mind stepping right up onto the stage, if you will. This time, if I'll have our fine lord and lady face one another, I'll place something into the back of each of your hands. This time, we'll do it in rounds, with each of you taking the opportunity to guess what the other has brought them, and each of you taking the opportunity to give one clue back and forth. And the first one to guess the other's prize will win. Now then, if the both of you are ready, step right up, if you'll stand right here and face, yes, that's correct, right over there. And if you wouldn't mind looking her right in the eyes right here. And what's your name, miss?
Tuli.
Tuli, and Sir...
Agramar.
Agrimar, if everyone can give me a nice round of applause for our participants, Thule and Agrimar, and there's a little woo.
Should Agrimar get on his knees so he's at eye level with Thule?
Do you choose to?
I will.
As the presenter starts looping around as he
The
grabs
entire crowd goes, "Oh!"
his large burlap sack, opening it
Don't want to hurt her
first
neck.
behind Agrimar and handing him something behind his back, and then walking behind Thule to hand her something. If I can have both of you roll me a charisma check of your choosing, this time out in the open, and this will be used for like initiative. The
And it can
higher
be,
roll
like-
gets to make their guess first.
Can Kevin assist with this by like motioning and thieves can't, or
Sure
just
thing.
not really caring if Thule can understand her?
11 for Agrimar.
Oh, you said like charisma check, like any charisma skill?
So persuasion, perception, or sorry, deception, intimidation,
shit. It's even
performance,
lower
or
than 11.
persuasion.
I'll go with persuasion. I'm good at that.
It's an 8 for Agrimar.
21.
Oh, fuck.
All right, so Agrimar, Sir Agrimar, if you wouldn't mind giving us your first clue, Thule can have the first guess. What is it that you have brought your lover from far and distant lands? That which her heart has yearned for all of these years. Now, after your many, many years of travel, the two of you find yourselves reunited once again upon this stage. Everyone, if I can get a round of applause for our participants, Agrimar and Thule.
Go, Julie, you get this right!
My lady Thule, I have just spoken with Lord Agrimar, and after years out on sea, he has returned with a gift. Agrimar!
It is as firm as a mountain, as treacherous as a creature who steals eggs from the nest, and as beautiful as one who is eternally embossed. No, carved. And their likeness remains for all time.
Well, it seems the Lord Agrimar is a bit of a poet. Any guesses, Thule?
Treacherous and embossed.
Carved.
Carved.
Embossed was the wrong term.
Would Kevin be able to help out with like signing to Julie, or sorry?
I'll effectively give Thule two guesses, if you'd like.
No, tight. Sorry.
Assuming she's like also trying to make out what Zara might be saying.
She's ignoring Zara. Hmm.
Well then, my
You know,
lord
like-
Agrimar, you will be more than pleased to know that after all these years of waiting alone, the lovely Lady Thule has pondered for years and years as to what the perfect gift for her lover to present on his return. Thule, what have you brought for your suitor in exchange for his fine gift?
I'm gonna whisper you a question just to like.
Sure thing. Whoop, that was not in the text box.
I do have to say, this is really enjoyable.
I'm biting my fingernails off over here.
I know.
Well, it is. Disgustingly, like disgustingly sweet. much like when somebody uses, I don't know, too much of like a floral perfume. That's
Any guesses, Lord Agrimar?
Okay, let me get this right. Disgustingly sweet, like too much floral.
no, that was an analogy. Yeah,
Agrimar
it's
will
disgustingly
guess
sweet.
honeyed words, dishonesty.
Poetic, but no.
Hard to put words in one's hand, mind you, Lord.
You'd be surprised.
So how further would you choose to describe this gift you've brought for your lady? After her first perchance, perhaps the second go-round, the gods will favor you even further.
I will say, it is an object made of mineral that represents a slithering creature.
Oh,
Is it like a I don't know, a snake figurine?
You hear a couple of fireworks going off from nearby. Oh my goodness, perhaps the two of you do have some divine interconnection. After all, I should have known that the stars were lined up when the two of you stepped foot in my sights. My dear, you are an excellent guesser, and it seems the gods have shined upon you a gift. If you'll do me such a pleasure, and as he opens up this large burlap sack, draw your prize.
All right, she'll reach into. Well, first she's gonna. I'm sure she has like a handkerchief or something. She's gonna wipe the stickiness off of her hands. Kind of like
What the hell did you have on your hand?
It was a candied apple.
oh,
Wow, I was way off. I went with dishonesty.
The vendor grabs the candied apple by the stick to avoid any of the sticky bits coming into contact with their hands as they take it
She'll
back.
like use a handkerchief or something to wipe her hands off before reaching into the bag. She's not a heathen.
wow.
Yeah, she'll reach in the bag and grab the first thing she feels.
All right. As you reach into the bag, the first thing that you pull free feels of a similar description as to what Agrimar was describing. A mineral feel to it, a small stone totem of what looks to be a black sort of onyx stone carved into the likeness of a cat. Effectively, when used, this totem turns into a friendly black illusory cat that'll last up to 24 hours before reverting back into the stone.
Oh, how cute.
So now, Kiki's delivery service has its cat.
Yay.
How many times can you use that?
We'll say one time a day, because it can last a long time.
It's basically a figurine of Wondrous Power, right?
Basically.
Yeah, so you can have it active, like the Raven is active until it does its task, and then it's inactive for a couple of days.
So it's like a familiar and a stone.
Sort of.
Cool.
It's just an intangible familiar. It can't touch anything because it's only an illusion.
Yeah.
With that, there's a slight clapping and applause from the 5 or 6 onlookers that have gathered up nearby the stage of this booth. As you guys are stepping your way down, the vendor is already quick to be ushering up the next couple in line to quickly place the two of them back to back once again and place objects in either of their hands to begin the process all over again. As the smells of the fair begin to drift around and pleasantly just kind of soothe your nerves, where would you guys like to head next?
Quick question. What did Kevin steal from the vendor?
That you stole approximately, I can whisper it to you,
Oh, dang. As they're walking around or walking, Kevin is going to do a quick little whistle to Thule and just kind of not kind of shake it, shake the vial of the glittery substance in front of her to kind of go, "Hey, I stole this. I stole it from her," and then quickly put it into one of her pockets.
Thule, you notice that Kevin tries to catch your attention with this whistle, and she starts shaking up this vial in her hands. And as she does so, there's a soft, almost golden glow that begins to fill around the outline of Zara. Not just the vial, but Zara herself. The more she shakes this vial, slightly the brighter the glow around her gets. As she starts to tuck the vial back into her pocket, the glow begins to fade once again.
Interesting. She'll make her way over to Zara. Be like, what you got there?
I don't know. She knows it's fairy dust, right?
Presumably so.
Yeah, stole some fairy dust from that vendor. I mean, no one makes me look like a fool up there. And gets away with it.
She'll kind of lean down closer to Zara's ear and whisper to her, "The only one who's making a fool of themselves is you."
No, I'm not. I mean, come on. She doesn't have to make like a grand gesture of my failures. I just wanted to get back at her, which I did. She probably won't notice.
Tully's gonna roll her eyes. Be like, "She didn't make a fool of you. You were just blind."
Well,
Yeah, and
I mean,
Thule,
does it just suggest that we're like more than partners? I mean, come on. I mean, we're just friends, Callum and I. That's all. I mean, come on.
Yes, like Agumar and I are just friends.
Thule, I don't need your sass right now, okay?
But I'm so good at it.
You are.
What were you saying, Ben?
can I play GM for just 1 second?
What you got?
I want Thule to make a perception check.
Okay. You fool. I get advantage on those. 22.
You notice that, like, since Zara and Callum were in the suitors thing, and while you and Agramar were there, something has changed about Zara. She seems to have like a little more, almost like glitter about her face. She seems to be glowing just a little bit.
Okay.
Aren't I already?
This one seems to be lingering.
Okay.
She seems very at home in this environment.
She'll just give she'll give Zara like a kind of patronizing like pat on the shoulder. Be like, you'll see eventually. And then she'll look over at Callum and give him a wink.
What is that supposed to mean? And you
What
know
do
what?
you want it to mean?
I want to retroactively do something every single time everyone mentions that they're a couple. Zara's going to do like a little blush. A lot of blush, actually. red as a cherry on her face
Ben,
every single
That's
time.
so fucking cute.
I want to
that's
know.
No,
Damn it.
you don't get to know.
Oh, you bitch.
What does Callum's gossip cookie say?
Cracking it open.
Absolutely.
Roll me a D100.
Ooh, D100.
And they were roommates. That's
Oh
all
my
it
god,
says.
they were roommates.
They were roommates.
There's gossip cookies. There it is.
Please tell me it's something ironic.
So Callum cracks open his cookie and reads his fortune on the inside of it. A little gossip cookie.
And as he reads it, he kind of blushes a little bit. And then, tucks the little note away. And he offers Zara part of the cookie.
What? Oh, thanks, Callum. Thanks. So anyway, as I was saying, I don't understand this whole thing with everyone trying to do things and everything. That's not. I don't understand why. She'll munch on the cookie as she's babbling.
She's ranting.
Yeah, just ranting.
So Callum looks over at the fighting ring, and what does he see in there?
You can see all manner of effectively blunted weapons. You can see wooden swords, kind of slightly padded mallets. There's a ball at the end of a chain, but the ball itself has what looks to be a couple of tarped sacks just kind of loosely tied up around it to give some padding for impact. Everything looks to be much more for sport than actual lethality. Additionally, there are several kind of poorly made mannequins set up beside of it, and there are several degrees of padded armor adorning these mannequins, from the overly puffed up, pillowy Ralphie's brother from A Christmas Story kind of padded armor on the one on the far right hand side, all the way down to just a couple of strips of cloth for the mannequin on the far left. And there looks to be one kind of barker that is standing up on the fence line, surrounded by a loose ring of gamblers shouting out quantities and exchanging coins back and forth with pieces of parchment handed in exchange. Join the fight and become the champion. It's a bare knuckle brawl up next. For one brave champion to step forward. No spells or items in the ring, only fists. Buffs and instants. No spells requiring attack rolls to hit will be allowed to be cast by players inside of the fence. Non-attack spells outside of the ring on any player, anywhere, at any time is perfectly acceptable. Items may be used by players inside of the box at any time, but nowhere else and by no one else. Players in the box can Players in the box can only leave the box to move inside of the ring further. No other movement beyond the ring is allowed. At any time, you may swap the fighter inside of the ring with somebody outside of the ring by means of a high five. However, no match can have this exchange more than 3 times. So no tagging out more than 3 times. Do we have our next champion somewhere in our audience?
Oh my god, guys, we could totally do it. Ooh.
Agrimar.
Not here.
I mean, we can go as a team, guys, right?
Nothing wrong with a good friendly beatdown every now and then. Or
Oh no.
shadows.
I
So-
thought I
It sounds like, if I heard him right, I could cast all kinds of things to help you out before you go in the ring.
yeah, we could all do this as a team, guys. We could make bank with this.
Let's
see.
do it.
I say we just do it. We gather up as a team and we do it. I mean, with Agrimar on our side, and Agrimar's fucking off doing whatever, but with him on our side, and with like Thule's just
I
amazing.
mean, did you see the
way
pies he
through.
was eating?
I know. He's going to be amazing with this. With my dexterity, Thule's way of words, Agrimar's strength, and Callum with your intelligence, we could win this.
So to clarify, you said no. What? So examples of spells that would be allowed.
What ones have you got in mind? So no attack spells.
Yeah, no
Death
attack
or
spells.
Nothing
Buff.
that does like any damage.
Buffs outside the ring are fine. But once you go inside the ring, you can't cast them. Is that right?
Right. So you can buff outside of the ring as much as you want, but once you step into the ring, no casting spells into the ring, no casting spells once inside of the ring.
Which basically means I'm going to be useless in there, so I need to stay on the outside and just buff people.
So you can make preparations before a fight, just not during the fight.
I mean, what Thule could do is like inspire all of us, so at least we have that bardic inspiration.
That only does so much in like it fighting, you know. I mean, yeah, you could add it to an attack roll, but it's not really gonna make much of a difference.
But would something like mirror image be allowed?
One way to find out.
Can we throw sand?
Okay,
Do you try?
No. I'm just saying. No, you know what? We'll figure
Zara
it out.
throws sand.
Great. We can
It
throw
does
sand,
feel
y'all.
like loose earth.
Come on, guys. What are we waiting for? Got a lot of aggression. We're a team.
I think we're waiting on Agrimar to finish burning out his intestines with all that pie he was eating earlier.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. What kind of pie did you get, Thule?
Chicken pot pie.
Oof. That is a lot. Callum, you?
You can still see some like blueberry stains around his like cheek.
Dang. You know what? Here's something. Zara's going. Kevin is going to take out a kind of little napkin and just wipe that off of him. You got something right there. There you go. So blueberry, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was blueberry.
Oh yeah, was it nice?
It was tasty.
Good.
I
Blueberry is kind of sweet and tart, like someone I know.
What is that supposed to? Yeah. No, yeah.
Callum
not
totally gives you the look of like, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Agrimar can be sweet and tart at the same time. Speaking of which, going to make any moves on him?
What do you think I've been doing?
Oh, you've been. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't tend to catch a lot of things when it comes
I know.
to that. What is that supposed
Oh,
to
trust me, I know. What do you think it means?
mean? I think you're just being sassy at this point.
That's my default, Kevin. Keep up.
No.
I don't know. Has there anyone that's caught your eye?
Yeah, oh my god, look over there! Would you believe it? The grass is so much greener. You know, I've heard.
Can Thule attempt, like we said before, she's still learning, but she knows that Zara knows this. A kind of clumsy thieves' cant of like the equivalent of a friend, maybe? Question
Sure
mark.
thing.
I could do a sleight of hand. I don't know. Or performance, maybe.
Roll it up.
What check do you want me to do?
What one are you feeling? How would you like to convey this?
Yeah, performance. I'm good at those. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
You got the basics down, for sure.
So, what did Thule ask Kevin through
Immediately after asking if Kevin is interested in anyone, she followed it with Thieves' Cant and a friend, maybe?
Interested in anyone or a friend?
No. I verbally asked you who,
Okay.
if you're interested in anybody, and she followed it up in Thieves' Cant with maybe a friend or our friend. She wants the tea.
Kevin's gonna look at Thule and tap back. How do you know this? And she's going to tap that back.
Don't dodge my question.
What do you mean? Don't dodge don't dodge this question.
You know exactly what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean. How do you know thieves can't? And I would imagine they're having this knocking back and forth, right?
As this knocking back and forth is being had, there's a little bit of a ruckus being stirred up from some of the tents nearby. It seems to start further back, but the noise is drawing closer as this slow murmur of cheers and applause is starting to draw from outside of the carnival grounds and slowly making its way towards the center fighting pit area.
Oh, is it Rafal? Do we get to fight Rafal?
Oh, that would be so clutch.
Oh, yes. Let's take him down.
No, that's next session.
It's actually several large creatures start to bulb their way over the peaks of some of these nearby stalls.
Oh my god!
As jockeys start to pull back on reins as these massive slugs start to stretch their way into this central ring, as the racers start lining up their slugs for the Grand Snails race.
Amazing.
And since we're going to buy some time for Agrimar to come back for the fighting pit, would anybody like to race a giant slug?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There are slugs with different ribbons tied underneath their eyes to indicate their team colors. There is pink, blue, purple, green, yellow, orange, red, and black. As the jockeys on top are kind of just introducing these animals to the passerbys and the crowd at this point, just going down the list of the slugs' names are Shellymoo, Nimblefoot, High Road, Quickleaf, Flower Flash, Wizzy, Breakneck, and Queen's Majesty. If any of those sing your
I'm
fancy,
backing Wizzy.
all right.
I'm backing Wizzy
Well-
all the way.
What was the first one's name again?
Wizzy is the orange-colored snail. Shellymoo is the pink-colored snail.
That one. Because it has a fun name.
He's back.
Agrimar, pick a color. Blue, purple, green, yellow, red, or black.
Red, of course.
You are backing the red breakneck snail.
My mother taught me this when we were in a casino in Vegas, but she always said to bet on the gray horse, but since there's no gray horse, I'm going to bet on the black one, because that's the closest to gray.
Since there's no horse, Zara steps up beside her queen's majesty, the black snail.
Oh, dang it. I was hoping it wouldn't be that one.
You took Rafal's horse. You know that's going to lose.
Yeah.
So as these 8 snails are all outfitted with riders, and the jockeys are quick to give a kind of loose overview of how to steer these giant snails, there's not a whole lot to it. More or less just kind of holding the reins to keep yourself in the saddle, if anything. If these things choose to go a different direction, there's not really anything you can do to stop them. So just hold on and enjoy the ride. It's more or less the advice that you're being given. But this race is divided into 6-second rounds. So if I can have all of my jockeys roll some initiative, please.
Oh, wait, we're actually riding them, or not just backing them?
If you choose to ride them, you can ride these snails in the race.
I want to look like a giant on this snail. Let's go for it.
No, they're giant snails.
I'm also giant.
These snails are more giant.
It's a giant her.
Oh, a competition of size it is. Dirty 20.
You're only half giant. These are giant.
20 for me.
This is actual initiative?
Actual initiative.
Okay.
Oh, man. Please
Holy
excuse...
Oh.
Always when it doesn't count.
All right.
Oh, you just wait till we get the sumo suits on and we go into the fighting ring.
Funny thing is, Agrimar still gets to go first with your natural 20. I'm just going to warn you guys, the drinks are hitting me, so I might be a little sauced for the rest of the session.
You're all set for the snail race then.
Bold of you
Perfect.
to assume that we're not all sauced already.
I don't know.
Four other snails.
Oh, another natural
things are
20.
getting interesting.
Is that... Do we count DM's natural 20s or no?
We count all 20s rolled, at least when I run.
I only count my 20s.
You know, I get so few of them when I DM, I make sure you guys know too, because I want to get acknowledged for my natural 20s.
Aw. Dude, hello. How are you?
All right. So starting up with Callum. With Callum taking the initiative, as another firework goes off, a flag is waved wildly as these 8 giant snails are let loose about this central ring. You were told you have to make as many laps as you can, as quickly as you can, before they tire out. Whoever's snail makes the most loops around this central fighting pit will be claimed the winner. So Callum, if you'd like, you can certainly try and flail at these reins about these giant snails with an animal handling check to try and steer them the way you'd like. The better you do, the faster these snails will go the direction you want them to.
So instead of an animal handling, can I make like a knowledge check to know what sort of things snails like and try to like prestidigitate that either scent or image in front of the snail?
Carrot on the
Sure.
stick.
You want to roll me like a nature check?
Okay, not bad. As a 15, do you?
15 is pretty great. As your snail starts lugging its way forward faster than some of those around you, as it moves a shocking 20 feet forward this round. anything else you would like to do?
Well, I'm not going to like try to interfere with the other snails at this point, so no.
Oh crap! I didn't order the initiative. Right. So Zara actually had initiative.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. But, you know.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I'm
yes.
before Callum. I got
Click
a
the
3
descending, but
dexterity.
didn't click accept. So apologies, Zara. Your snail is the first to set itself loose, making its way forward. If you'd like to roll me an animal handling check.
Yes. Okay. 7. This isn't Humphrey. I'm not used to this. I'm used to camels.
The one hump variety you're not proficient in.
No.
Zara's snail actually starts turning around and moving backwards as she's pulling on the reins, as it starts making its way back behind the rest of the snails and slugs, weaving its way back. She is not doing so great trying to handle her slug, as Callum just starts to take off with his own, drawing on his nature and natural understanding of what slugs are motivated by to try and conjure up some motivation for his slug. As the green snail behind him is quick to draw in and is able to close the distance, moving 10 feet forward this round. Agrimar, on top of Breakneck, the red snail, what would you like to do?
I came in at the end. Are the rules that we have to ride the snail, or that the two have to be combined?
You are riding the snail currently. You can choose to race your snail around this central fighting ring. Whoever snail races the most rings around this circle wins.
Can I do some form of check to see if the snail racing me would be against the rules?
How would you like to attempt this? Who are you going to talk to? What would you like to say, ask, or interact with?
You know, Agrimar is going to take in his inner Kevin. And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on myself. And cast... oh god, it's a really cool ability. Is this a large creature or a huge creature?
It's a huge creature, I believe.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to cast Bull Strength on myself so I can carry large creatures, and I'm going to flip the snail on my back and start running on my own feet.
All right. So you, is the casting of the spell an action?
It is an action.
All right. So you're able to cast the spell, hop off of your snail, and start flexing to start lifting it this round. That's as far as you're able to get this time round, but you will be able to lift it next time.
Is there someone ahead of me?
Callum is ahead of you, as well as Quickleaf, the green snail.
I will attempt to use my bonus action to move towards an enemy in this combat and try to move my movement with the snail.
So you want to leave the snail behind?
Oh,
because you haven't picked it up yet.
Okay, I gotta grapple him first, right? Okay, I'll wait till my next turn. Okay, I'm good.
All right. With that, Thule is up.
Is that an animal handling check?
Animal handling check to try and steer your giant snail.
Not too good at that. I'll give it a go. How's a 6?
6, kind of like what Zara's snail started to do. You kind of give that whip of the reins, and immediately you watch as its 2 eye stalks start to shrivel and shrink, recessing back down into its head as the snail that you are on top of just starts to recede back into its shell.
Boy, scared it.
You gave it to... What was it? You encouraged it too much. It burnt out, dude. It cracked underneath the pressure.
You know, this
So-
might be a weird thing. Can I give a snail bardic inspiration?
What would you like to say to try?
Fuck if I know.
Do you caress its eye stalks and be like, "Good
Ew.
job, boy"?
No, she'll be like, no, you're fine. You've got this. See, look, there's some behind us that are doing way worse than you are. I don't know. Could I like persuade it? I don't even know if it understands common.
As you speak these words of comfort towards the snail, you hope that it might have some sort of impact in the race going forward. Anything else you would like to do?
Nope, that was my action. That was my action and bonus action.
All right. So the next three snails, Nimblefoot the blue, Flower Flash the yellow, and High Road the purple. The first two start making their way forward. The third gives a whip of his snail's reins, and it just takes a hard right and just starts immediately shooting towards the central fighting pit. However, the two that are making their way forward do not catch up to Callum. They seem to be going about the same pace as Quickleaf the snail. Zara, with your snail turned a little bit around in the first round, is there anything you'd like to try to do differently this time round?
Yeah. So Zara has some rations in her pocket, so she'll take it out and kind of put it in front of the snail and go, "Okay, buddy, come on. Go this way and we'll get the rations. Come on, go this way and you'll get the rations. Come on."
Go ahead and roll me an animal handling check.
13.
As your soft, soothing voice seems to draw the attention of the snail as it starts turning itself back round and starting to make its way forward in this race, as it's following where you were leading it with these trail rations. What you're doing seems to be working. Anything else you would like to do?
Kevin will break off a little bit of the trail rations and kind of, I don't know, throw it in front to kind of go, "Okay, good. You're doing what I want you to do. Have some of the trail rations I have."
There we are, folks. Breakneck is really starting to earn its namesake now as the Red Scarlet is starting to make its way forward, gaining quickly on Nimblefoot and Quickleaf. Now I suppose it's up to Wizzy and his jockey. Callum, what have you got?
So, did you see the question I just sent you?
I do. Does Callum want to ask that? Or would he like to attempt it?
I think he's just going to attempt it.
I dig it.
He's going to try to very subtly do this. So, hang on. I'm whispering.
Callum explodes!
I cast plane shift on Callum.
Agrimar's a poor loser. Oh, no.
Beat me, why don't you?
Callum,
You know-
you get that off, no problem.
Excellent.
I think Kevin has some assault, so
Are you gonna assault the slugs?
Don't do
I'm
that.
not that cruel. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
saying.
are.
Rachel,
Push
if it's
comes
any
to shove.
consolation, there's a specific happenstance for salt specifically for this giant snail stat block.
You have a rule for salt?
Salt osmosis,
Oh my god,
a
yes.
feature unique to this creature.
I'm not going to throw salt on these snails. They have done nothing to wrong me.
Kevin's been doing that for a year and a half. Why'd she have to do it on snails?
That's what Callum does, and he keeps. He hopes the snail goes in the right direction.
Roll me an animal handling check to see how well the snail takes it.
Oh Lord, my +0 to animal handling. All right. Hey!
Nice.
Callum's snail just seems to be really vibing with whatever Callum's saying. Whatever tone of voice he's using, however he's holding those reins, his slug starts just oozing its way forward. Like it is apparently on a same mindset with Callum as it starts flying forward 30 feet this round.
Flying? Did you cast fly on your snail?
Quickleaf the Green is quick to close the gap as fast as he can. However, his snail, despite his best efforts, starts to slowly recede its eye stalks as it just stops going forward. Agrimar.
Agrimar is going to speak in Primordial, whatever the Earth, Terran, I believe is the Earth one, to the snail. Hopefully it speaks it. I'm going to make you travel faster than any snail. And I'm going to try to pick it up and start running.
All right, go ahead and give me that athletics check.
That's a 24.
All right, Agrimar scoops up his snail. And with effectively halved movement, you can make your way forward. 15 feet.
Are there opponents in play in this particular event?
You are approaching the green quickleaf snail. If you'd like to pass him, you can do so.
I'm aiming for Callum. So I'm going to aim for Callum,
Callum
so I get
is
an
a ways
additional
ahead
30
of
feet.
you.
Well, he's within 60 feet, so I know he's there. So I'm going to be running.
So he's not an enemy in your orcish bloodthirst sense. He's racing.
All right, fine. I'll double move.
All right. Well, you picked up your snail for your action. You don't
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm moving.
All right. Thule,
Alrighty.
come around to you, and your snail's eye stalk ever so slightly starts to poke back out from its shell, like it's checking things out again.
So theoretically, since I cast Bardic Inspiration on the snail, can I add that to my animal handling check?
You absolutely can.
Hell yeah.
Come on, Thule.
And that's a
Oh,
D10.
Thule.
Ten.
Oh.
Your snail's eyes start to poke its way out, and its mucus trail starts to be zoning in on Zara's snail's mucus trail as it creeps forward just a couple more feet to follow behind Zara's wake. But it does it at a very slow, leisurely pace, even for a snail.
That's okay with her.
As Nimblefoot the Blue starts to gain on Agrimar, passing him by 5 feet, followed by Flower Flash the Yellow that passes by Nimblefoot the Blue and gains 10 feet on Nimblefoot, as High Road finally leaves his starting point as his slug opens his eyes for the first time.
Aww.
As far along as Agrimar is carrying his snail. Zara.
Zara's going to, again, show the rations to the snail and pat its shell and go, okay, we just need a few more feet. If we could just be a little bit faster, I'll give you more of the trail rations. Come on, buddy. We can do this. Holy fuck.
Give it!
Oh.
You start to hear the crowd chanting, Zara, 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 Queen's Majesty, Queen's Majesty, Queen's Majesty. And this buildup just slowly starts to form. And it seems to instill this snail with some additional movement this round, as your snail is going to go 40 feet this round, as it starts to speed past Agrimar and quickly gain on Callum. With that, Callum, you hear the sound of a snail that is quickly gaining on yours. Even with your snail's enhancements, Kevin's snail is going faster than yours just did.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Well, that is an interesting question. You know what? Why not? We're having fun. I'm going to I'm going to cast Polymorph on my snail and turn it into a horse.
What the fuck?
All right. But it is going to take your action this round to polymorph it.
Oh, sure.
As you land solid on the polymorphed version of Wizzy. On it, as it takes a moment to understand what four legs are and how they work. A very confused horse stands underneath Callum this round. But I assume a racing horse. I think they have 50 or 60 feet of movement.
Oh, yeah, definitely a racing horse.
So if you want to double check a racing horse's speed before next round, as quickly goes. And he is quickly gaining on Kevin as his snail moves 20 feet forward. Agrimar. The green snail that you just passed passes you one more time. It is neck and neck with the two of you.
That is perfectly fine. Do I see Callum's snail turn into a horse?
If you're looking his way, absolutely.
Oh, my eyes are fixed on that little gnome. I need that horse to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Roll me a concentration check.
Certainly.
Actually, does this spell that you're casting require somatic components? Or material?
Hold on.
Because you are holding a giant snail over your head. Right now.
Somatic only.
So you need at least one hand free to do this. So if you'd like to drop your snail to cast, you can absolutely do so.
Can I...
Or move, then drop your snail and cast.
I'm so strong, can I hold it with one arm?
Would you like to try?
I would love to try.
All right. Fire the spell off.
All right.
Roll me an athletics check at disadvantage.
Athletics at disadvantage. Will do.
So a wisdom save from Callum's horse.
Well, that was an 18 and a 20, so that's going to be a 29 athletics.
Excellent. As you kind of throw the weight of the snail upwards over one shoulder as you take this opportunity to weave the spell's components with your left hand. Happy that you left your shield on your back, otherwise you definitely wouldn't have a free hand to do this. As the horse fails its wisdom save, but your spell goes off.
All right. My toll of the dead goes off to kill his fucking snail. His horse takes 13 points of necrotic damage. And I say, fuck your horse.
In what language?
Celestial. So it's very pleasant. It's like, oh, fuck your horse.
How many points?
Angelic choir.
13.
13?
The horse keeps going.
Is that past the horse's hit points?
Warhorse has 19 hit points.
I thought you said a riding horse.
You don't know?
Oh, so you changed it 3 times. Okay.
Anything else Agrimar would like to do?
No, I'm going to keep moving.
Would you like to move?
I couldn't find racing horse, so I figured warhorse was the next best thing.
Racing horse is a riding horse.
So he made it a war horse instead.
What are you actually trying to do?
He made a horse. Is Agrimar moving forward?
Yeah, I'm moving forward.
All right. So you can get another 15
I'm going
feet
to kill
forward.
all of your horses or snails, so...
You catch up to Quickleaf the Green. Thule.
Jeez, and all of you were worried about Kevin killing the snails. It's actually like Rat Killer McGee over here.
I haven't... At this point in the timeline, I haven't killed something in like 8 months, so...
He's got bloodlust.
I've got bloodlust.
No one's safe.
I was muted.
I'm like, she's strategizing.
Now
I
you
am
know how it
strategizing.
feels.
About how tall are these snails? Like up on top of their shell.
About 10 to 12 feet up in the air.
Cool. I want to attempt an acrobatics check. I want to like one hand the reins and kind of swing down and forwards and kind of use that momentum to pull the snail forward if I can.
All right. You want to try and like surf the snail?
Hell yeah.
All right. Roll me that acrobatics check.
How's a 20?
Pretty
Holy
friggin'
shit.
excellent. As both you and the snail that you're on start to glide across the mucus trail left behind by Kevin's slug, and the two of you start making your way 20 feet forward and are right behind Agrimar and Quickleaf back in the race.
Nice.
Then the three others. Nimblefoot the blue turns back round 5 feet. Flower Flash the yellow goes forward 20 feet, catching up to Kevin. As you see the rider on top of this yellow snail looks forward with confusion, looks back with more confusion, and then just looks over towards Kevin with a very nervous look in their eye. Like they don't know what to expect next, and they're looking at you because you're closest. As High Road the purple stays right where they're at. With that, ooh. Rachel, roll me 1d8.
1d8, okay.
Yes. That rider's saddle snaps.
Whew.
All right, Kevin, what would you like to do?
I really want some of that acrobatics that Thule did. Is it possible on that slime trail to try to... I'll just stick with animal handling. She'll once again, throw some of the trail rations down in front of the snail. Again, pat it this time more on the... less on the shell, more on the actual snail thing, and encourage it more.
All right.
You got this, buddy. You've got this. You've got this. Just keep your head in the game. You've got this. You're doing wonderfully right now. She's talking to it as if it were Humphrey. Very, very sweet. Very Kevin. Holy shit.
That seems to be doing the trick as your snail just rockets forward. And it passes Callum on top of his horse. You get right in front of Callum as he seems to be surrounded by this purplish cloud of smoke as the snail that he was on top of is now a horse that looks to be weakened by some sort of necrotic spell flung at it from Agrimar, but the horse is just holding on. And the horse's gaze looks up. Callum, what would you like to do?
Time to spur that horse forward.
All right. What's a horse's movement speed?
60 feet.
All right.
Plus the
roll me-
enhancement.
All right. So roll me an animal handling check to see how much of its movement you go.
Not a whole
DC's
lot.
12. All right. So the horse is definitely fighting back on this one as the snail seems to like being a snail more than it likes having these weird protrusions off of its lower flesh. So it's fighting back this round as you see Kevin just start to shirk her way around you, and her slug is going faster than you would have anticipated. It's Quickleaf the green. It's going forward. He passes by Agrimar. Gets just behind Callum. And with that, Agrimar is up.
Did my snail move at all, or my horse move at all?
It did not move at all this round.
Okay.
Dude, it's like Snail Mario.
Can I do an Arcana check to see what Callum has actually done to his snail?
Sure. If you want to take a round to investigate what's going on.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Sure. Roll me an Arcana check. Polymorph's a 5th level spell or a 4th?
4th.
So DC 14.
DC 14, alright. Yeah, I got it. 22.
Yeah, it seems like he just made his giant snail into a horse. A horse just residuous enough to withstand that hollow chime that you sent its way. But you know that if you drop that horse's hit points, it's back to being a snail.
Can
However, this is a race, and it's very unsportsmanlike to attack another jockey's animal.
Yeah, I figured that.
You did hear a couple of ohs out in the crowd whenever that first happened.
Yeah. It's pretty much bad form on Agrimar.
But you hear a whole lot more cheering at the fact that there's a guy carrying his snail forward through this race.
I know Agrimar can't match the horse, but he'll just do his movement. He'll carry the snail as far as he can.
This time you also have your action to dash.
I will do that, so that makes it 30 feet.
You catch up to Kevin, just past Callum on his horse. Thule.
I'll just do animal handling check. Thule's just here, like, enjoying it.
Just along for the ride.
And wants to just stay on the shell, because as we already know, she doesn't like gross things, and snails are kind of gross.
Don't touch the slimy bits.
Exactly. That's an 11.
The snail starts to slow down in the mucus trail, and it seems to make its way forward over what seems to be the remains of a head of cabbage or lettuce or something. And it seems to just start eating right in the middle of the race, and it stops going forward.
He'll just kind of pat it on the shell, like, yeah, me too, buddy.
As the next three snails, the Nimblefoot the blue turns around and moves 5 feet backwards, as Flower Flash the yellow stays right where it's at, as he whips the reins and its eye stalks begin to recede as the whole snail starts to just curl back up into its shell. It seems to be out of the race. However, High Road, the purple snail's rider, is quick to whip across the reins as the snail seems to be getting into the heat of this race. It moves 10, then 20 feet forward, quickly catching up to the other snail in yellow when Thule catches sight of a loose buckle on this rider's saddle. As he is passing by you, you catch sight of this loose strap flapping behind the snail as it starts to drag in the mud behind them. As High Road the purple starts to make his way forward to round the corner to pass Flower Flash, there's a loud snapping sound as the leather strap of the saddle lets loose, and the rider of High Road the purple just falls and splats into the mud behind Flower Flash the yellow. And the snail that he was riding on just continues forward without him. But High Road the purple is now out of the race. Kevin.
I know my good luck isn't going to last for long, but you know what?
bucket. She'll throw more rations. You know that she has. Good boy, good boy. You're doing a wonderful job right now.
I know. Snails are great and they don't meow all the time.
You
And
tell
she'll-
that snail.
And she'll, you know, keep patting it. Like, you're doing a wonderful job right now. You know, even if something were to happen, that's okay. 15.
No problem. Your snail keeps on cruising its way forward. Like, not too worried about the race whatsoever.
You're doing a wonderful job, sweetie. And at least I'm not hand-holding like some people. And she'll look straight at Agrimar. Or actively cheating like others. Looking
Kevin,
at Callum.
as your gaze back towards Agrimar, you look kind of behind that snail that he's lugging on his back at Callum, who's sitting pridefully on top of his horse. As Callum takes hold of that horse's reins, what would you like to do, Callum?
I want to use my Arcana skill to, like, summon an illusion out in front of the horse to make it move forward.
All right. Roll me either an Arcana check or an animal handling check with advantage.
I'll just go with the Arcana check.
All right. The horse sees this image and sets itself to move forward. So the horse's total movement is 70 feet.
That's correct.
As Callum's horse takes off, and it just circles around more than halfway across the racetrack in a single blink of an eye, it seems. Callum, you are quick to see Thule approaching around the next bend. As Quick Leaf the Green continues to pass Agrimar and is right on Kevin's tail. Agrimar, that snail's starting to feel a bit heavy, and all that slimy mucus that just keeps showering down on you is starting to build up a little bit, and your grip's getting a little bit more slick with every stomp forward. Just something to be aware of.
Yep. And Agrimar is going to put the snail down inside this little ring, and he's going to go back and tend to the rider of the high road, the purple,
All right.
and make sure they're all right. So he's going to bow out of the race.
Agrimar bows out of the race. There's a not uproar of applause, but a good majority of the audience on onlookers available do let off a round of applause, and you hear some cheers of sportsmanship as Agrimar makes his way towards another fallen rider to help him out. Thule.
Going for another animal handling check. There's got to be a good one somewhere in here.
I believe in you.
Hey, 50.
Just keeps on cruising along, finding
Yeah,
these kind of mucus trails and slowly following the pack wherever they might be going.
She's just kind of lounging on the show.
You catch up to Flower Flash, the yellow that seems to be struggling with his rider, and you see the rider in purple just kind of swimming through the mud behind you. As blue goes forward 10 feet and yellow continues struggling right where he's at. Kevin.
Yes, she's going to switch out it to one of the dog treats that hopefully she has. She'll go, okay, buddy, let's keep this up. Let's keep this up. You're doing a wonderful job. You're doing great. I believe in you. I really do. She's falling in love with the snail. I'm falling in love with the snail. I want this snail.
Make this animal handling check with advantage, because the snail's growing to liking its rider.
I love this snail.
What is it with you and just picking up random animals?
What is with you and not
Should have been a
picking up-
druid.
Julie is not an animal person.
as Zara on the back of her snail just keeps chugging along and starts gaining some distance on Callum, despite Callum riding a horse.
Dude, I want to pick up that spider that I made friends with, this snail, and a camel. Nothing can stop Kevin.
With that, Callum is up.
All right, Callum kind of sees the craziness going on in front of him with Agrimar bowing out of the race and Thule just sort of, plodding along. And he's just going to try to keep the horse moving in the general direction it's supposed to be moving.
All right. Your horse goes to rear up, and one of its legs slips a little bit in the slick mud, which causes it to quickly just topple and collapse down onto its side as the horse lets out a little bit of a whine as it does its best to steady itself back up and slowly stands itself, shaking off some of the muck about itself, but effectively this round doesn't move forward.
Callum can't get out of the way and gets fallen on by the horse.
It hurts.
It hurts a lot. Like a lot.
Like 5 bludgeoning damage worth.
Does Callum fall off the horse?
And Callum, I need you to roll me a concentration check for polymorph.
And yes, he totally falls off the horse. Okay, concentration is...
Constitution save.
Okay.
You maintain the horse.
Which is now loose, and I'm not riding it.
So you'll have 1 round to recover. As Quickleaf the Green, he whips the reins on his snail, which starts taking off at a pretty breakneck speed, but then quickly, jerks back as you see the snail's neck just starts twitching, like its muscle keeps spasming, as it seems like it pulled one of its muscles, as the snail just slows to a stop and then just kind of hobbles off to the side and just retreats back into its shell. Quickleaf the Green is out of the race. Thule.
Just keep going.
All right. Your snail starts slowing down and just continues to munch at that cabbage head that was thrown from the crowd. It seems to be enjoying itself, not really bothered whatsoever by the fact that it's supposed to be racing right now. As Bimblefoot and Flower Flash keep on racing their way forward. Kevin. You see Callum up ahead. His horse has taken a bit of a spill and has fallen in front of you. And you can see he is struggling a little bit to stand back up, but his horse is about to take off without him.
So I was really prepared. I was prepared to win this fair and square. I was ready. But then Callum fell off. And although Kevin doesn't want to admit her feelings, she does feel a sense of gloom or just terror as that horse just smashes into Callum. And she's going to get off her snail, who she has named, I don't know, Fry.
It already had a name.
Well, I'm naming it now. And she's going to run over to Callum to check to see if he's all right and give him a once-over.
Roll me a medicine check on Callum.
Oh, that wasn't supposed to be an advantage, but that was an 18 for my first one.
18's pretty great. You think that his ankle might be a little bit sprained, but so long as he doesn't put too much pressure on it for the next couple of days, it'll probably be fine. He might need a little bit of help walking around.
Yeah, Kevin's gonna... escort him to like the medical tent or something to help him up, you know?
Yeah.
The first aid station at the fair.
Yeah, the first aid station. Come on, Callum, you can't be this clumsy. Come on.
Callum, you got Zara right here down in the muck with you, and your horse just within arm's reach. What would
Callum
you like to
completely
do?
loses concentration on the polymorph spell. And the horse just turns back into a snail that just starts kind of wandering off.
Oh, thanks. I think I got a little too adventurous there. Ow. Yeah, ankle definitely hurts.
Is he...
Go ahead.
Is he laying it on thick? Like, it hurts more than it actually is?
No, like, I mean, he's never really ridden a horse before, certainly a full-size horse, which is the only thing he could turn it into. So he's probably not as hurt as he thinks he is, but it definitely hurts right now.
Aw.
Got old Brad's belly.
But then again, he also did completely lose concentration on his spell because you came over to help.
Aww.
So he could be a little rattled, too.
But you were about to win.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. I love the snail, though. Let's just get you over to the first aid station or something like that.
Thank you.
And they sort of start hobbling off the racetrack.
Thule, go ahead and roll me an animal handling check.
Can I roll a performance check to try to encourage my snail with a nice little song?
I'll allow you to bardically inspire it.
I'll just roll animal handling.
Just intimidate it. Be like, I'm gonna feed you the salt unless you get moving.
I do have better intimidation, but I already rolled my animal handling.
Your snail just kind of keeps vibing on this head of lettuce, it's got nowhere to be anytime soon, and it's going to take it a while to digest that cabbage, so it'll probably be good for the next couple of days.
So is it just kind of stopped moving in general?
Basically, giving up on the race so long as it's eating this cabbage head.
Yeah, that's okay.
The DC is a 12 to make it move forward at all.
With that, then she'll just, she'll give it a pat on its shell and just kind of hop off.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the front half of the race to all drop out. Because now the back half is just staying right where they're at. And it seems like the crowd that is gathered is starting to slowly lose interest as Nimblefoot and Flower Flash both also just stay right in place, as it seems the only ones left in the race, their snails aren't moving anymore. So the race is effectively over with Flower Flash declared the leader just because it got the farthest with the rider still on it. So, there's not a cheer of applause for this victory of the race, and more onlookers just start walking away to make their way to the other booths before the crowd disperses, then care to continue to watch what prize gets drawn by Flower Flash. But the snails are quickly wrangled up by the jockeys who brought them in. There's a little bit of a grouping of the snails so the kids can come forward and pet some of the snails if they want. Other snails are kind of led off. The purple snail is led back to be repaired so that its saddle doesn't break the next time that they bring him out. And otherwise, the snails are brought back off of the field as the sound of the crowd just kind of disperses, giving you guys a little bit of space in this moment.
Can we regather at the first aid tent?
Absolutely. Agrimar carries the purple rider in.
Yep.
Kevin helping Callum Tuli making her way over to find where her party went.
Tuli came back from the race. Who won? Did you?
No, the what color was it? I already forgot.
Yellow? Someone that wasn't us.
Someone
the
that
orc
wasn't
guy.
us.
I know Wizzy's was orange. The purple guys was High Road.
You said it was Flower Flash. That
Flower
Yellow
Flash was
Flower Flash?
yellow.
the yellow one then.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got a little caught up in the race.
Sorry that I almost killed your snail.
Well, I guess it's only fair. When you turn your snail into a horse.
Why did you do that?
He wanted to win. It was very clear.
I know, but couldn't you change it into something you could control? Like maybe a smaller horse?
Yeah, I you can only polymorph things into something you've seen before, so... Actually, I haven't ever really seen any miniature horses.
Huh.
But there's plenty of war horses going around the city.
I suppose. By the way, what did they do with Queen's Gambit? And like, I really like that snail.
You do, but they're slimy and gross.
Excuse me. They have a heart of gold, and frankly, I love him.
Mine was
So
a bitch.
you can admit at least one thing that you love, huh?
What do you... Excuse me.
You're excused.
Oh, since the race is done, and I mean we've been to some of the booths. Did anyone notice the dragonfly rides?
Dragonfly roll?
Yeah,
Dragonfly rides?
yeah, over, like. Hang on a second.
Now a random square.
Yeah, so out of character. I think they're like on the map. It shows them kind of like hippogriffs with saddles on their back, like over here.
All right.
Giant dragonflies would be perfect for a couple of halflings and gnomes.
But I was just kind of imagining, like carnivals often have like a Ferris wheel or something to get you up and give you a good, nice view. And like I'm remembering some of the parks I've been to that have like the tramway you can go and see everything.
It's like California Adventure where you get that hang gliding experience.
Oh, that's so nice.
So that's kind of what I'm imagining if Ryan's up for it.
There could be like a dragonfly Ferris wheel kind of thing where you like the cart is shaped like a giant flying hippogriff or giant dragonfly or different flying creatures. The Pegasus, different carts or the different animals on the Ferris wheel.
Totally.
So, Zara, would you like to go on the dragonfly ride?
Oh, yeah, I can sit right next to Tuli.
Sure. Yeah.
Actually, I was hoping that Tuli would have a beverage with me at the moment.
Of course.
So why don't you
I am
two
feeling
go?
rather parched. I'm sure you two will have a lot of fun.
Well, so it sounds like they have other plans. Do you still want to go?
I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah. After that, do we want to meet up somewhere? Maybe the fighting pits, Maybe win a few coins afterwards?
I thought you didn't like this place, Sarah.
If it's coins, there's the follow the card booth, and something tells me you'd be very good at that.
I'm good at stealing cards, not necessarily to watch where it goes, but sure. Yeah. let's do that. So I'll meet up and maybe, I'm not saying I'm enjoying myself. I'm just following the vibe of the place in order to get a better understanding of what's going on.
Sure. So you want to make your way to the follow the card booth or the Ferris wheel first?
Ferris wheel first.
All
Yep,
right.
Definitely.
So the two of you start approaching, and you can hear that there's another vendor here who's barking out the rules as best he can, calling out the different animals as they are coming up, telling people that it's 2 people per bench, 2 people per animal, and there's going to be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. 2 people per ride, 2 people at a time. It's very strongly enforcing 2 at a time. But he calls out the Pegasus, a unicorn, hippogriff, griffin, dragonfly, butterfly, moon moth.
Let's get the dragonfly.
No, oh, okay.
As you guys step forward, as he calls out for the giant dragonfly, he says, "All right, I'll have the 2 of you sit side by side. No, keep your hands inside of the dragonfly at all times. No standing up, and do not climb out of this for whatever reason. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Enjoy
yes,
yourselves."
Understand.
As he's quick to push the cart, and you guys slowly start ascending, as you can hear him barking out to the next cart behind you, but it is quick to fade in the distance, almost magically so, as your cart starts to ascend up above some of the tent rooftops, and just on display is this everlasting sunset with all the colors in the sky stretching out from the oranges all the way to the purples to the dark blues and blacks opposite the sun. The infinite sunset of the Feywild, with all manner of natural greenery surrounding this open field where this carnival is lighting up the space. With just the 2 of you, and you can ever so faintly make out like a humming sound, like the vibrations of a dragonfly's wings, and none of the sounds of the crowd gathered below.
Oh, I didn't know it'd be so quiet up here.
No, I would have thought this place is really, really, really weird, magical, and weird. It's nice.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Zara, I want you to know that I've had a really wonderful time with you today.
Oh, that's nice. I've had a wonderful time with you and Thule and Agrimar and everyone. It's been nice, to kind of take a break from everything that's been going on.
No, I mean, I hope this isn't too forward, but I've had a wonderful time with you.
Oh! I am a very fun person to be around. Yeah, that's nice.
And I really hope this isn't the only time we do something like this.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, we've gotten into tussles. I mean, this probably isn't going to be the last time that we're going to be doing this. Who knows? With your skill set and my skill set, we might be paired up and everything. So, Oh my God! Look over there. Look at that snail.
And Callum just kind of leaves it at that. He doesn't want to make her any more uncomfortable than she obviously already is.
And
they just keep riding the Ferris wheel until the ride's done.
as it slowly starts to descend, as the sounds of the carnival around you start to rise up, as the camera pans across the fairgrounds over towards Agrimar and Thule, where they are walking side by side, passing by from one tent to the next. What are they talking about? Where are they going?
That's up to
doing something?
Agrimar.
Yeah, I want to find a like a hot apple cider cart.
All right.
And
There's definitely some drinking carts back over towards the food court area.
so we'll go there and I'll order 2 large hot ciders. Thule, if you don't mind, can I modify these drinks to make them more like something from my homeland?
Go ahead.
So I'll take a small strip of charred wood and just very gently crumble it into dust and sprinkle it on each of our 2 drinks, and it'll bring a nice smokiness to the cider. So it should bring down the sugar content, which Thule has said that she doesn't like too sweet of things. And enhance. It's almost like it'll make it taste like a charred apple. So
Kind of like if an apple cider was like a chai.
Yeah, exactly. It'll have a little earthiness to it.
An apple cider.
An apple cider. And I'll hand it to Thule.
Thank you. Looks like you have something on your mind. Care to let it all out?
Thule, I always have something on my mind. But, grab a seat somewhere. Look, unfortunately, I have to be brutally honest because I'm not very good with words. I care for you deeply. I really do. Everything that you do is different. But why do you play the games and the deceits and the facade? You put up a facade that it doesn't suit you.
Oh, I don't know how to go about this. Because I'm thinking, like, where we are timeline-wise, this is when Thule is planning her ultimate arson showcase. And, is very frazzled about it all. I'm gonna roll a deception check. Feign innocence. Not sure what you're talking about. But I will say that I do also care for you very much. That part was the truth. The first part was a lie.
Right.
I rolled a natural 1 on my insight, but my insight is higher than her deception.
Damn it. And,
I have a 10 on my
obviously
insight.
we're playing games here. This is obviously very fun, but I'm not sure what you're alluding to.
I have been trying to be the strong person you need. The rock in which you can build your own life on. But the more that I try to show you how much I love you and how much I try to support you, it nearly gets me killed. I have no problem laying my life on the line for you. But it feels like the more I try, the more you hide from me. The more something about yourself is elusive to me, Thule. And unfortunately, and I don't want to presume, but it feels like you're trying to fool me. And I don't take kindly to being fooled with. I need to know, are you presenting you, or a mask of yourself?
I can assure you that all of my interactions with you have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Have been honest. I've never once, it have been genuine. I'm always genuine with you. No tricks, no hiding. Just me, just you.
Roll insight on Thule.
Go ahead.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, I would. Dirty 20.
He's telling the truth.
So there's nothing. Just you.
Just me. I know, it can be a little lackluster at times.
There's nothing lackluster about you, Thule. I mean, you're as free as the wind blows, and I know nothing will stop you from doing anything that you wish. It's just, I don't know, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. I don't want you to feel like you have to hide something from me because you think it'll hurt me. You know it takes a lot to hurt me. So I just want you to be honest with me. And if things come up, don't hide it. Just let me know. I might be able to help, or at the very least, take the heat off you. You know I'm good for it.
Yeah, of course. I'll, I'm just still trying to get over all of, the Golden Lotus thing. That was a lot. Mind control, almost dying. Mind control isn't fun, by the way. Did you know that?
Not your particular brand of mind control, but I have spent a long time under the doctrine of being a guardian of a specific set of knowledge, and it is quite oppressive, and it makes feeling unique difficult without putting on a face.
No faces here. Just mine. And yours, which is a lovely one, by the way.
Big old smile. Well, thank you. I thought this conversation was going to go different. I thought you'd be more upset with me. And he lays out the snow leopard mask and this bright red silk scarf on either side of the table from our cups. I wasn't quite sure how to put it forward, but I got these for you, and I was gonna make you make a choice, but it seems kind of childish to do that. But these are things that I sensed in you, there's this snow leopard mask. It's free, it's wild, it's untamed, it's primal in its design. It signifies that you are a hunter who seeks what they want and uses cunning and deceit, hiding to get what they want. And he points to the scarf. And the scarf is, well, it's me. It's fire, it's passion, it's out in the open for all to see. And I was hoping that you would choose one of these that you are drawn to. What you truly feel deep down.
And you want me to choose between the two items?
I just want to know what your heart desires. Being free and a predator, or being out in the open and just being us.
I don't know how to be completely open. Anything, but you know, when you choose to be free for so long, how do you just kind of give that up? It's
not...
like what was it when we were in the sewers fighting the lotus, you know, the golden lotus, and I had to get Rafal out of that. What was it? It was like some kind of cage thing. I can't remember the exact
The force cage.
Yeah, force cage. And that elf said to me that it intrigued him that something so wild would so willingly cage themselves, and it kind of hit a nerve. I mean, we took care of him, obviously, but I don't know, just kind of stuck.
I don't want you to stop being you, and if you want to move as freely as the wind, from person to person or town to town, then I understand that is who you are. I just ask that if, deep down, the Thule that I see, the one that drew me to you, wants to come forth and be prominent, then let that Thule shine. Take center stage. That's all I ask, is that if you want me to be here, then involve me. Let me be here for you. Otherwise, no hard feelings.